Hello, a hero story. How you going? Just me today on the podcast, just
Not true.
Harper. I'm gonna be
Not true.
talking
No, it's
Civil
not true.
War.
It's not true. Not true.
No, just
Audio
me. This
listeners
is
may have been tricked
basically,
for a second,
actually, it's
but
a hero story live episode 4, basically. So I'm just gonna kind of like read your
Mm.
guys'
nope.
responses
Oh, what
to
happened to
Civil
those?
War. The other guys couldn't
Yeah,
make it,
whatever. I
but
liked
I'll
watching
just
those.
I'll
Whatever
just
happened to
be
those?
here
I can
talking
remember that
Civil
you
War.
said you would continue to do them.
I will.
For for
Okay, well, hang on. Come on,
for
hang on.
for audio listeners, it is Harper, Tyler, myself, and JD here. JD has a full-grown beard, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he cut his
JD, you're
tongue out
oh,
in protest. So
Yeah.
yeah, JD, you're muted. Okay,
yeah,
he's
Sean's here
ripping
as
his
well.
shirt off.
What?
Anyways, yeah, we're talking Civil War this
A
week
Hero
because that one
Story
last
episode
book club.
358, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
358 is what I did
Today
say.
we are talking about Civil War. It's the Civil
Yes.
War
yeah.
book
The
club, everyone.
comic.
Welcome. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo.
Woo. No more bad books, we said,
Woo.
and then you guys all voted for a bad book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
but
look,
to be
look.
fair, there's more, I would say, substance than three jokers.
There's a conversation around this one.
You
Yes,
know
there
what?
is things to talk about.
I think I agreed with that statement before rereading it, and now after I'm just like nothing to
Interesting.
talk about.
Where do we begin?
I've
Yeah,
got
So,
nothing to talk
the
about.
American Civil War began.
you
Nice.
have
Yeah.
read the wrong book.
Yeah, you
So
guys didn't
my
read
my
Civil War
process.
by Ken. You didn't watch the documentary by Ken Burns.
Literally,
I
one of our Discord responses to Civil War was just like, Kaylee Spaney is fantastic in this. I was like,
Yeah, she's good.
nice, well done. That's
In that
good
movie.
stuff.
yeah, yeah. What kind of American are you? My process that I realized that this was really bad was I kind of like I went to read it at the start of the month and then I didn't. And then this week I'm like, oh no, I have to like lock in and read this. But I was
Yeah,
working,
but
so I brought it to work to read on my lunch breaks. And I work with guys that like love the MCU, but they don't read comics at all.
Mhm.
And then one of those guys see me
you
reading this
guys got
book.
to get on this.
Yeah, yeah. He's
He's
like,
like,
"What are you reading?" I'm like,
classic.
"Oh, I'm reading Civil War for this book club I'm in." And he's like, "That's my favorite comic ever." I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
I
believe
know.
it. I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I know
knowing that
it
this
is.
is a
Yeah.
guy that only watches the MCU, doesn't read comics. I'm like, I know.
When
I
did you
can't
guys?
imagine watching movie Civil War and then the book being your favorite comic. Like
I don't know
how?
if we
Well,
should start
it is like
here.
it's the LARPer's
Oh,
favorite Marvel comic,
it's
Well,
essentially.
that's true. This is
I
true.
don't know if we should start here, but I do want to ask you guys, when did you first read this book? Because it is very
Oh,
early
Yeah,
in
good
everyone's journey.
question. I think this was my first Marvel story ever, like
That
full,
see, that
like
makes
start
a
to
lot of
finish.
sense though. I think that's maybe by intention, right?
Yeah, and
I think for
I think I
me,
would have. Hmm.
I think it would have been maybe like my sixth or seventh. Fuck, I'm not even trying to do
Your
six, seven,
sixth
sixth or
birthday.
seventh Marvel book because you know this. My first Iron Man book that I read, first
Do we
Marvel
know
book I
this?
ever read was Extremis. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, we do know that, yeah.
And then I went into Execute Program, which we'll talk about later in the episode, and then the director of Shield stuff. And I read Civil War for the first time right around then, but I don't think I had read Civil War since maybe like university. Like
Is
it
that
might have been like
is that
7 years.
that era you're talking about when you would have read it around the movie? Like when the Iron Man movie came out or after?
No, it would have been like Avengers. Would have been
Oh,
like
I see.
2012.
Okay, because I think I first read this. I was thinking about this yesterday that the Marvel app when they first dropped the Marvel app. I remember my dad showed me it, and he's like, "Oh, look, this." She basically put an iPad in front of my face, like 2011, let's say, and went, "Oh, look, Marvel has an app. They have a website now and everything. Look at this." He had bought me the first issue of Miles on Spider. You look at the dog. Yes, it's all
So
crazy.
distracted by your fucking dog. I'm sorry. I haven't heard a
She's
word you're saying because
she's
I'm watching the dog lose its mind.
yeah. What does she do? She's attacking a pillow. She's an idiot. I'm telling you, she's an idiot, man. But he hands me like an iPad and he's like, "Oh, here's this issue," and it's the first issue of Miles Morales as Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man.
Mm.
And I'm like, "Oh
Mm.
my god, that is what I would say probably the moment that got me
This is
hooked
going to be
overall."
better than Kingdom of the Planet of the
Yeah,
Apes.
I can only hope, right? And so then, I mean, I'm a kid, and my dad just handed me essentially his credit card on an app, and so
Oh yeah, yeah.
and so I'm like, Civil War. I've heard about this. Buy, 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 buy,
Mm,
buy.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm like buying
yeah.
books. I'm like, Spider Island. I know what that is. Buy, 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 buy. And eventually
Fuck.
my dad has to go, knock it the fuck off. Or not, he spent like $100 on this stupid app. I should have never shown this to you. But I read Civil War in that era. I was probably like 10, like legitimately 10 years
Fuck,
old.
man.
And I
Ugh.
must have read that 50 times, like over and over and
Wow.
over and
You were
over.
you were
Because
younger than me. Yeah.
I mean, when did this book come out? 2007. So it was, I guess,
Mm.
Yeah.
fresh, kind of fresh at that point. And
Uh,
we weren't at the point, at least I was not on the internet at the point at 10 years old where I would have known about the backlash to this. If you're, like Hunter's friend at Apple, then this is the
Yeah.
greatest comic ever because it's the first one you read. And
Yeah.
that was definitely the case with
Yeah, it's
me.
like a
To be fair,
nostalgia
to be
thing.
fair, my favorite comic is The Walking Dead, and it is also the first one that
But
I
you got
started
lucky.
reading.
That's a
Still,
good
like
one,
it's
man.
true. Yeah.
That's a good one. I mean, me too. Ultimate Spider-Man, yeah, whatever. But
Yeah.
but sometimes your first comic is either Civil War or Batman Hush, and as you read
Yeah.
more, those
I read
those,
Hush first, yeah.
I was gonna say,
probably
what
do
was
not
your
remain
first comic, Hunter? Was it New 52 Batman? Is
ever.
it that the
No,
story?
no, my
Sonic?
first ever like full like trade was for superheroes
Oh,
is
it was
Batman Hush, but
Justice
yeah,
League.
it was Sonic first. No, it was Batman Hush.
Oh, wow, you
I got
started
Civil
with
War too.
Sonic.
Yeah, yeah, because I was like 4 or 5. Like,
Damn.
but
Yeah,
so this is my Civil War trade right here. This was like the first trade that I ever owned outside Batman Hush, like first Marvel trade. And it says in here, it says eighth printing 2012. So I would have been like 14 or
wow.
13
Wow.
Yeah,
when I
I
Eighth
had when I
printing
got this.
already.
this one says
Eight
20.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Yeah,
slow
So
this is the
years.
22nd printing. I actually had never
Oh my
I never owned
God.
this trade before because I had just read it digitally so many times. I bought it for the first time
Think
for
about
this
all the stories that are
podcast
so much better than that
that
book
don't
that
have
have never
22
been
printings.
reprinted.
Yeah, I know. I had to buy 4 issues of Detective Comics last week because I was trying to find the Mud Pack as a trade paperback and I couldn't. I had to buy the actual issues. Um, but where should we start? Where should we get what this is the 2000s of Marvel, baby. This is essentially the peak that they ever got. If you want to argue either that or the shooter era in the 80s, but this is a wrecking
oh,
ball. This comes in and this destroys everything that we liked, right? Like we had New Avengers beforehand, we had a version of Spider-Man that we liked beforehand, and we had comic books that worked without tie-ins and events beforehand. And now Civil
mhm.
War came in, and this I couldn't find necessarily the back well, and actually that's not true. I found the background of where the idea came from. Apparently they were at a Marvel summit. It's Mark Millar and Bendis and all of them working at Marvel, and he says that Bendis's idea, and this is very apparent in New Avengers, like obviously he's building to Secret Invasion, but before Secret Invasion, the plan that Bendis had was he was going to do a huge event that was going to be the Avengers versus Shield, like the Marvel superheroes versus
Oh, yeah.
Shield. And I think that's very apparent when you read his New Avengers run because there's a lot of build up. There's like moles in Shield, and Maria Hill's a brand new character, and you don't know if you can trust her. Yada yada. Like it was going to be the superheroes versus Shield, but then might have been Casada. I almost just wanted to say Dan DiDio, but that's not true. He didn't work there. Somebody
Oh
went up
God.
and said, this idea isn't big enough. How about superheroes versus superheroes? And that's the idea, right? Like once you put that on the table, that's the only
It's
thing that they can
done,
think
yeah.
of because it's money.
Correct,
It is
yeah.
just money, right? Like
Mm.
superheroes versus superheroes, the Avengers versus themselves. Not even just the Avengers. Like this is the Marvel universe imploding on itself, having a
Yeah.
civil war. And once that idea is out there, I mean, yeah, you cannot come up with another idea that's going to be
I
that's going to make more
truly
money.
believe it's like the best idea ever too.
Yeah,
Like,
It
I
is.
think
versus
it's
It is.
so good.
Yeah.
But fuck, man.
And like you're
But
talking just
it was the
essentially
wrong time.
Yeah, but you're talking the best idea in terms of like the event, like the Superhuman Registration Act and all that, right?
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
the idea of let's do a superhero civil war in the Marvel universe, one side fronted by Captain America, one side fronted by Iron Man. I think that is the
Yeah.
best idea since like
It's-
the wheel.
Yeah, it's one of our.
It's
I
just
like,
not
I
done
like
well.
Pizza. I like pizza, but
You like pizza? Is
yeah,
that
after
code
the
for
wheel.
something?
No, after the wheel, then pizza. Then
Who's on the
you can say
island? I reckon.
superheroes. Nope, not true.
Who's on the
I
island?
reckon too.
Not
The
true.
pizza.
It's
Yeah,
a reason
you
we
can tell.
relate.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm not as
The
depraved as you
reason why we
guys.
were late.
Yeah, anyways.
But yeah, I was reading the Mark Millar. The thing that really sold them is that he came up with the idea to call it Civil War, and they're like, "Oh my god, that's
Yeah,
genius!" Like,
that's
and it
so
kind of
good.
is. It sells the entire thing on itself.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that Bendis wasn't the one to write this, considering that that idea is kind of based on him. But Mark Millar gets it. It's Mark Millar and Steve McNiven. Their first collaboration, I want to say, I think it is, because they've worked on they had worked on after this, Old Man Logan,
Oh man, Logan. Yeah.
Nemesis. I don't know if Nemesis was before or after this, but they're not like, I wouldn't say in a huge duo that do a lot of books. I'm sure they've done more, but I think that they are a duo. Like, I do put them together in my head, McNiven and Millar. Like, I think that his style, Steve McNiven, complements, air quotes, however, whatever Mark Millar's books are about, right? Like, whatever it is he does, I think it complements it. I think they work well together. They both kind of portray everything as very nihilistic and like, you could say grounded, but you can also say bleak. Either
Blake,
one.
yeah,
I
100%.
would
I
say
think-
grounded as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that McNiven's art is very much in that vein. Like, everyone looks kind of really mean and angry all the time.
They do. I had a realization with his art in like Civil War, well, Old Man Logan as well, but like I have said to you guys forever that I don't like Steve McNiven's art.
Yes.
It wasn't until rereading this that I was just like, no, it's the coloring. Like I really
You don't
like
his art in this book?
No, that's the thing. I don't like the coloring. I don't like the like hyper realistic coloring almost where it's like
Yeah, on the
they've got
skin.
like the
I kinda
pink
love it.
shades in the skin and making it look like, because it makes everything, his art is very detailed and like you said, aggressive. Everyone's doing this face. They're always going, "Ugh,"
Yeah,
like
I
that.
mean, I just
They're
found
always
this-
like that.
Yeah, look at
Yeah,
Reed
but they're
right here.
so detailed in like the pigment of their skin that it looks so dude, the costumes in this book are so hot.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, if we could start with
Sorry.
McNiven's art,
This is
I
the
love it.
the goon
I-
potential in Civil
we can-
War is
we can,
unbelievable.
What is it called? Shit sandwich.
That's an insane
I-
sentence.
It's true. There's a panel. There's a panel specifically for people like that. And you know exactly which one I'm talking
The
about.
She-
There's
She-Hulk,
no, there's
Yes.
multiple. There's one where Sue's just standing there and like she's not wearing anything, dude. Like
Yeah.
it is goon central
think,
up in Millarville.
If we can shit sandwich this, right? Compliment,
Okay.
then shit on it, and
What
then
is
compliment.
this?
You've never heard of
think
a shit sandwich?
It's a way of reviewing
Or a
something. where
compliment
you-
sandwich? Yeah.
Yeah, or compliment sandwich. There you go. Where you compliment it and then you shit on it and then you compliment it
And then
again
you
at the end.
compliment it.
So I want to definitely give. I thought McNiven's art, like for me, definitely as a kid reading this, like McNiven's art, I never saw.
His
I
cock is
haven't
out.
read. Yeah, at
Sorry,
that time,
this is an intestine.
yeah, literally, that's such a
Oh, God.
gross panel. But by this point, when I'm reading this
Ow.
book as a kid, I haven't read Marvels or I haven't seen Alex Ross at all or any other really
Mm.
kind of what you would consider to be realistic art. Brian Hitch, I haven't seen any of that. And this is the introduction. And I think Millar, listen, I'm going to steal your book club for a second. I'm going to take this right back to the Authority, but Mark Millar takes a, or no, sorry, Steve McNiven takes a lot from the idea that Brian Hitch invented in the Authority, which is called widescreen comics, which is the cinematization of comic books, right? We're getting wide, long panels that
Mhm.
resemble, watching it on a cinema
Which-
screen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I do
And-
love. I think they're cool.
Take away a lot of the less dialogue, or it's less dialogue intensive, less panel layouts, very simple, clean, like a movie. Every panel is a shot in a movie, and that's from the Authority. That's from Brian Hitch and the Authority. I think that's all this is. Like, he's taking a lot of that. You've kind of run with the what's it called, the widescreen comics angle, and this is like a blockbuster movie comic book. That's the entire intent of this.
Yeah.
This is the summer blockbuster event to end all summer blockbuster events at Marvel. And I think that being the tagline, I think Steve McNiven knocks it out of the park. I really do, especially with how many characters he has to draw. I think he nails it. I love it. I love it.
I have no idea what my opinion at the time was, but if I came straight off of Extremis and having like Adi Granov art, I must have looked at Civil War and been like, "That's not as good as
Yeah,
Extremis."
I
You know
could've
what I
drawn
mean?
that. Yeah.
That's not as realistic. Although I would have been reading fucking like Patrick Zurcher in Execute Program, which is just like pretty cool regular
It's pretty
comic art.
alright.
So
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Charlie
Um,
Adlard or whatever, and he's like, it's
oh
pretty
yeah,
nice.
I might have still been in the like the Tony Moore era. I would be like, wow, this is really detailed, and
Yeah.
then hit that seventh issue, and I'm like, oh,
Okay,
whatever.
different.
Okay.
What do you guys think of the story?
Look,
I want to
The
throw
thing
this
is,
out
like,
real
it-
quick
we
first. Sorry that I read Grant Morrison's book on superheroes, and Grant Morrison obviously has this huge rivalry with Mark Millar. There's a quote I
Yeah.
read where it's like,
oh,
"How would
if
you
I saw
how
it
would you next like to run into Mark Millar?" And then Grant
at
Morrison said,
100
"Hopefully
miles?
at 100 miles per hour," which is
It's
hilarious.
the best quote
I don't know what
ever.
their beef is about, but I know that back in the day they were contemporaries, like they were friends. And in his book Super
They did
Gods,
Flash together, baby.
yeah, in his book Super Gods, or in their book, sorry, Super Gods, Grant Morrison puts out this idea that everything Mark Millar has ever written is always 100% satire, no matter what. It's always satirical. You are never supposed to take what he's writing at face value. And I don't know if I agree with
Yeah, I
that
can
necessarily.
see
but
it.
that
I can
kind
see
of
it.
broke
I could.
my perception of him, because now I'm reading this entirely going like, okay, nobody's right, and this is all stupid. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
you know what? This wasn't the worst thing I've ever read this time.
Oh yeah, you have to do a lot of like mental gymnastics
Yeah,
to get there,
exactly.
then, don't you? Like,
That was, yeah, the story, like you said, the Superhuman Registration Act angle is genius, and they did it
Mm.
before Marvel. They've done Superhero Registration Act. They did the Mutant Registration Act. That was a whole thing, the Claremont era. But this is the first time that they really stand down. And they go, even the Humies aren't safe, and that's when it
yeah, the
becomes serious.
Humies.
Right?
Wow.
That's when it becomes serious. Is when Captain America and Iron Man aren't safe either. And it's a great idea. I think no notes on the registration idea.
The thing is, like, where you go?
No, you go. There you go.
Oh,
you go.
okay, fine. I think it helps that we know that it was all okay in the end, except for Spider-Man stuff. But like Avengers was going like really, really up, and then Civil War came and it just kind of destroyed a lot of what was being built up. And it's a miracle that Bendis was able to just like pick up where he left off essentially,
Yeah.
while still using
Yeah.
the Civil War thing. Like Mighty Avengers happened where Iron Man was still kind of a villain in a sense, where that team had Ares on it and had Sentry on it, who was crazy, and it still worked in
And
the
you had
end.
the
And this all
Underground
happened because of
Avengers as
Civil
well.
War. Exactly.
Literally,
Like there was a
yeah.
lot of bad things from this book, and it like they're not written as they should be. Like nobody really
No.
is written as they should be here.
Mm.
And in the end, Bendis was able to recover, except for Spider-Man's the only one that didn't recover from this book, essentially. And
It
Black
is
Widow.
insane that the best era of Iron Man in the last 26 years is every issue that came out after Civil War up
Yeah.
until the end of Fraction. Like,
Yeah.
Matt
It's because they were
Fraction's-
just fixing them. They were fixing these
But, like,
characters.
straight up, yeah, because like the director of Shield run, which I know Tyler doesn't like because he wanted it to be James Bond and whatever, but
Yeah,
I
'cause
really
it was a
love that run
lie.
because it is like 18 issues of
That's
Tony
fine. I like
Stark.
it. I do like it.
Because like the end of this book, and it's one credit I'll give, let's jump to like the final
One
fucking
credit.
page. But when Tony Stark at the end is just like, obviously
Oh,
I'm going to be
sitting
director of
down,
Shield.
yeah.
Like, do you think I would trust like my friends'
Anybody else.
identities with anyone else? Yeah, I like that. Director of Shield is that it's Tony Stark taking on the role that kind of like Civil War. He's adopting a role and an ideology that he agrees with to an extent, but he doesn't like the way it's being done. But he's doing it because he thinks it's the right thing, and he's just racked with like guilt throughout that whole book. And it's him making amends as the director of Shield to make amends for all the fallout of Civil War. I think that is excellent. And then you roll into Matt Fraction's run, and it's one of top 5 Iron Man runs of all time, and it is like it is the
Five? You
true.
wouldn't even say top 3.
This is competition, man.
I know, but it's that even this first arc. What is it? 5
The
Nightmares.
5 Nightmares, yeah, it's pretty
Come
fucking
on.
good.
It's
I know.
pretty fucking
But you got to remember, like anytime you go Matt Fraction's Iron Man is the best ever, you go LaRocca art for the entire run.
Yeah, that's
for the
true.
entire run, Tyler.
Yeah, I know. And then
One of the
I go,
first
Matt Fraction's
issues-
X-Men though, and it's Greg Land.
One of the first issues is Tony Stark standing like in front of a window, and the window is clearly just a photo of a city that like LaRocca took from like Google Images, and it's like, yeah, okay. Anyway, but like Matt Fraction's Iron Man is like the Tony Stark redemption tour. It's them saving that character and making him the best he'd been in fucking 20 years.
Yeah,
right around the time
they got
when all the
lucky with
movies.
the movie too.
They got so lucky with the movie, dude.
Yeah.
Didn't they? Yeah,
They
literally
got
the
lucky
year
that
after.
everybody that watched the movie, that if the fraction of people that watched the movie and went to comics had this Robert Downey Jr. idea of Tony Stark that was
Yeah.
cool,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
the
Good
destroyed
point.
version of Tony Stark that we get in
Yeah,
this.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just insane that they mined, the best era of this character in like 30 years out of like the event that borderline ruined him.
Because I think it's very possible to read this with like through a lens that, like, I think he doesn't do it in this book, but you can rationalize everything Tony does in this story. You can rationalize it in his mindset as an in character kind of thing. You just have to acknowledge that he was wrong. And the lucky part is that he's the type of character that would do that, right? Like,
Yeah,
he
I mean,
is the
he
type of character that looks back
literally-
on this and goes like, that was not my proudest day. That was pretty
Yeah.
ugly of what we did.
That's
And
true. Yeah.
and like, not that they're lucky, because that is the kind of basis of the character is guilt and regret and whatnot. But if I think it's very interesting that Tony in this story is written so poorly, but is still a strong enough character to where you can go, but I see the kind of broad strokes of what he was going for.
To be fair, like Tony Stark is barely in this book. I think he's in 20 pages all up. Like, I couldn't believe how little they do with him. Nick, who wrote a very long like review in the Discord, was just like, I think, Tony is the character that Millar like spends the most time on. And like, I don't know that that's true, because he doesn't spend time on him. Like, Tony in this is like a monolithic character that is there to represent the idea of opposition, really. He's not there to like actually have a point. The point is literally set up in the first issue. It's a bunch of children die, and Iron Man goes, that's probably not great. And it's like, yeah, okay, I
it's
get
bad for
that.
us.
And he has one line where he's like, are we doing the right thing? God, I hope we're doing the right thing. That is the only piece, really, in this entire book, that is the only piece of characterization that I really think Tony Stark gets. Anytime he's in the helmet, he's just spouting like
Jarvis,
nothing
kill Iron Man,
dialogue
or kill
about
Captain
the
America.
Registration Act. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
it's
He's a
so
villain.
vapid. It's so nothing. But like, I don't even know that he is a villain. He literally just doesn't. They don't do anything with him.
Yeah,
That was my biggest surprise. Is like how, like you said before, Tyler. Like, it's so short on dialogue. This book, the way it's all laid out. But like, it's crazy that no one ever really argues their ideology in this book.
Yeah,
no one gets
yeah.
into the nitty gritty
That's
about
right,
like
Exactly.
the,
That's all tie-ins.
like the Registration
All
Act.
tie-ins.
It's a lot shorter than I remembered. Like, it's
Bro,
very,
it's-
very tiny.
It's a like 10-minute read. Like, it's
Yeah,
so
literally.
quick. It's
7
crazy.
issues.
This is our
Yes.
shortest book club I think we've ever done.
Yeah, I think
7
so.
issues, and like the first 2 issues are the only ones that have dialogue, really, and then the
Yeah,
rest
it's
of it
and
is
it's
just
7
like
issues
just
to
punching.
disband the entire universe as well. Like,
that's
7
it.
issues
Yeah.
to get to where they get at the end, which is everything is different. Like, nothing.
To be
is the
fair,
same
it only
after this.
took what 4 issues to ruin Spider-Man Forever,
Spider-Man,
Tyler.
this is
So
true, but I mean, this is part of that, so it's technically a longer journey. I think as well, like we can easily look at Tony and go, okay, well, Tony in this book, he's mischaracterized because there's just no version of him, I think, that would go so heavy on this. And the way that they
yeah,
explain
that's the
it,
issue.
the way that they explain it, they try to make it make sense for his character is like, okay, well, I'm not doing this. We have to do this. Otherwise, we won't be heroes anymore. Like, it's kind of, I didn't even think about this until I read it this time, but it's kind of Watchmen, right? Like, the idea that we're going to have a universe where it's
Let's not compare
post-superheroes.
Civil War to Watchmen.
No, but the registration idea, that's purely from Watchmen, right? Like, the idea that we're going to have a
Yes,
universe
okay,
post
okay.
superheroes, right? Like, no one's going to be a superhero anymore. They're going to be registered with the government and working for them. And that I even read an interview with Millar about this book that's totally from Watchmen, right? Like the post Night Owl 1 and 2 and all them, like after the war, it just becomes Dr. Manhattan. There's no more super, I forget what that's called, the Keene Act, right? In Watchmen. So
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
totally from there. And I think the way that, like I said, they make it make sense for Tony is like, okay, well, there's issues like, again, Bendis does heavy lifting here, Illuminati issues, where he's like,
Yeah,
this will happen one day. There's going to
Yep,
be something
that's it.
where, like, Tony Stark is a futurist, right? He can see things before anybody else
Yes.
can. And he's like, one day there will be something where we are forced to register or become a subsidiary of the United States government. There's no way.
You know what I
Happen.
forgot, Tyler? Is when he had that revelation is during Doom Quest. He's fighting
Yes,
Doctor
they say
Doom
that,
against
yes. Oh
he's
my
with
God.
King
That's in
Arthur and
the-
stuff, and he goes, "That's the moment that I realized that we
Yeah.
would all head to some
That's in
kind
the
of war." I
confession,
couldn't.
yeah.
I completely forgot that was in
Yes,
the confession.
they-
It's
that's-
just
that's
like,
also
yeah, I went
Bendis.
back in time and I met King. It started with King Arthur. I was like, no way! Like I
Yeah.
completely forgot.
But it's
that.
like
so
that
cool.
Tony essentially has to go. He has to be the villain here. He's like, okay, well, somebody has to do this because otherwise we will never be trusted again. Like the
Correct.
only way to win trust, it's not about winning the fights or the ideological argument. Like for Tony, it's not about the Civil War. It's about making people trust them again. It's about having the world around them believe that superheroes can be a force for good. Because like if the Stanford incident happened if we lived in the Marvel universe and that happened, I mean, you imagine the outrage. A bunch of idiot superheroes got a school of children murdered.
Children blow like hundreds of children.
True.
Like the repercussions of that would be enormous, right? And Tony understands that. And I think Tony Stark, even though it's definitely not his fault that the new Guardians are morons, he definitely feels responsible for that. There's a part of him that's like, okay, well, we could have gotten this earlier. We could have made sure that something like this was never going to happen. And so I think from Tony's perspective, you can kind of go, okay, I kind of understand where that works. But with Steve Rogers, it's like this is a version of Steve where for some reason there's just no such thing in his head as compromise. Like he's supposed to be a soldier. He's supposed to understand that.
I forgot about the part where he goes to shake Tony's hand and like shocks him and then punches him in the head. I'm like, that's not Captain America.
Rereading that in my head, I'm like, oh, and this is the part where Tony captures Steve in the trick. And no, it's Steve that does it to Tony.
No, it's Steve that escalates it. But like, it's fucking crazy to me. I don't think I've had this feeling so hard in comic books where I was reading a dialogue box and I went, who is this character? Like the way Steve is talking, he's talking like a modern day, like angry 37-year-old. Like just the way and I was this is not how Captain America, like this is not how he talks. Like he was a second away from being like, get out of my face, bro. I'm like, why are you written like Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious?
I'm not going down to you pampered punk.
Rereading it this I mean, rereading it this time, I went in knowing like, okay, Tony's out of character in this book, and then I'm like, everybody's out of character.
It's so bad, dude. Reed, Steve, and Tony are the worst versions of those characters.
The absolute worst of it.
Because Tyler, you're sorry, you go. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, like, I think that like Tony faces the most repercussions like in the public discourse because he's on the pro registration side. But in terms of characterization, I think Steve is far worse. He just escapes by the fact that he is the resistance. But like, God, he's so poorly written in this.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, even then, Tyler, you were saying like how I forgot what I was gonna say. They'll come back to me. Hold on.
So it was the long pause.
I was like passionate about it too. I was like, oh, God.
Well, that's the thing, Tyler.
Something about Rogers, about Steve being out of character, I'd assume.
Steve, the writing.
I feel like there's heavy lifting.
Oh yeah. Wait. You're saying that like Tony, like he's doing something, like he's getting upset because the all those kids died, and he's like, we have to do something about this. But his reaction is, we have to build a clone of Thor.
Yeah, that is wrong. That's the issue. That's it. Like, and Tyler is spot on, and I agree. Like when I argue with people about Civil War, it is definitely hard to not. It's hard to not be like, okay, well, Civil War sucked, but because I do feel like it sucks. Some people like it, and you've got to kind of meet in the middle on that argument. Tyler is right in the sense that Tony Stark being like the futurist guy who sees like what's coming down the road and he decides to get ahead of it. I mean, that's what they do in the movie, one hand on the wheel and all of that.
Yeah.
But the idea that Tony Stark would be on this, like, we need accountability side and that he would fight the other heroes for it. I totally get that. I like the characterization in like the Confession and the Iron Man issues where he's just like, I had to do this. I knew it would make me look like the bad guy, but I was doing it for the reputation of superheroes everywhere. But Tyler's right in the sense that that idea, totally fine. And if you show Tony in this books, like, I don't know, the government does something or S.H.I.E.L.D. does something and Tony's like, what are we doing? Like, they arrest Cap or they shoot Spider-Man and he's like, what the fuck? Or like, Goliath dies because like S.H.I.E.L.D. sends in mercenaries or whatever. you get Tony's reaction and he's like, this isn't what we agreed to. You see that he's a pawn in this bigger machine, but like the book makes it abundantly clear that he's just like, no, I'm all in on this.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. Let's send him to the negative zone. Let's make a clone of Thor. I mean, he feels bad about Goliath dying, but he feels bad. He goes, well, he was my friend too, you know? And it's like, you don't feel that character actually like is a
Has lived with
person. He
anything,
feels,
yeah.
yeah,
No,
like
no,
he
no,
doesn't.
yeah.
The regret allegedly that he feels is only felt in other issues and tie-ins, and like in the main event, it's like, yeah, it could work if he wasn't so like completely monolithically like dedicated to the Accords. I'm fine with him believing in them. That's
The
fine. It's
Registration Act, you movie fan.
sorry, the registrar mixed the movie. Yes, like he's so, but he makes a point that he's like, no matter how much he's fighting, he goes, oh, but I do believe in them. That's fine, but it's the level that he goes to
He takes it
in
way too
believing in
far.
them. Because I don't think Tony Stark, no matter what he fucking believed, would allow it to get to this point or even
Yeah.
like facilitate events to get to negative zone prison number
Yeah.
42.
I
Because
think
it was
it's
that
even-
no.
I even
What
because it was a
are you
40-second
talking
idea they had. Yeah, I even
The
think
silver
the,
the silver coin scene, yeah.
I even
Which is
think-
weird because that's Danny Rand. Why is he making
I
like
wanna get
to that
religious
later, but-
references?
Well,
I even
it's the
think-
same reason how it's like Ben Riley in Devil's Reign. Like the writer didn't care.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
well, that's it.
was
Yeah, yeah.
Ben Riley in Devil's Reign. Like this is supposed to be Matt Murdock.
Yeah,
Um,
either way. Yeah, he dyes his hair red at a point when they
Yeah.
get the new identities, and I'm like,
I guess
what?
so, yeah.
You're getting real method about this.
You know what's
man.
funny is that he does have a line where he says, "I'm liking this new identity thing. I'm coming up with new favorite movies, favorite songs." So I'm
Yes,
like,
yeah,
maybe
and that
this
felt
Danny
very
Rand.
Danny. Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is Danny. Yeah.
But for me, like the Steve Rogers aspect of this story, I think when you ask, like, if we're gonna purely look at this as readers, right? Steve, the anti-registration side, like that's what we associate with, right? I think we all agree that, like, in the context of the story, we're probably anti-registration, right?
Yeah, well, anything that is like a government oversight
Yes.
is just you are just
Exactly.
a hired
Yes,
gun for
yeah,
someone else's
We're
opinions
team
at
we're
that
team
point.
Cap, but we're like trying not to look forward.
So
I'm
Steve,
Team
but so
Doctor
that's exactly
Strange
it.
personally.
Like,
I'm fasting for 40 days and
45
40
days,
nights in
yeah.
a void or something while the Watcher watches
Yeah.
me.
Well, I
But
think we
the-
follow Spider-Man. Like he joins Tony at first because Iron Man's cool and the Iron Spider looks cool,
yeah,
and
I
then
got a
he
cool new
leaves
suit.
to go
Yeah.
to Cap.
But it's
so, yeah.
interesting because I think, like, Steve is the side that I think most people reading this would pick, right? Like we would all pick Team Cap. It's the
Mhm.
easier one. It's what we would say is the correct one because we know these good guys. We know that we can trust a
Yeah.
majority of the heroes that would be
Mm.
out there every day, like the New Warriors, whatever. But I don't read the New Warriors. I read the Avengers. I trust the Avengers. You know?
But even if you are Team
So-
Iron Man, he recruits villains like
That's
halfway
exactly it, but-
through. So
and-
then
but
you're
the
like,
thing
okay,
is
never
that
mind.
Steve
To be
takes it
fair,
to
the
a
parallel
level-
of that is then Cap recruiting the Punisher. Like
Yeah.
the parallel is supposed to be they're both going to like the darkest depths.
But this is the
Bleh.
thing.
Counterpoint. This was kind of cool.
That is
Yeah, I
sick.
suppose.
You do
Counterpoint the
love-
part where Cat beats him up. Or what do you think about the line when Spider-Man goes, you know, they're like, why wouldn't the Punisher fight back? And he's like, you know, Cap probably inspired the Punisher. Like he was, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, sure, yeah.
I know
I'm
that-
sure
I
Frank
always
Castle
like-
was like,
I like when they make Frank Castle have a bit of a hero worship, even not towards.
I
towards
do
Steve
not
Rogers.
think he worships
No,
Captain America.
he
Oh,
does.
that
I
was
think
terrible.
canonically he does. He's a
Does
huge
he
Captain
really?
America fan because
Interesting.
he's like because I think, you know, regardless of, this is not related to the book, but I think the Punisher is like, I have to be this, but Captain America can be better, and I like that.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, exactly. I just don't think he hero worships him. I don't think he's just
Apparently,
like.
I think he does. I think that
Does
is
he
a
really
thing.
like to that level? No
Yeah,
way.
and there's I mean, this is an alternate universe, but there's one where like they're zombies or something, and Punisher has to kill Cap before he turns into a zombie, and the last thing he says is, "You were always my hero." That's from a different universe, though. But but I think that Steve takes this entire thing to a level where it's like, you know, you want to believe that Captain America has the best intentions. You want to believe that Captain America is correct. And I think that's part of what Tony's going on with, is like, well, I cannot be on the opposite side of Captain America and feel secure in what I believe. Right? Like I want to think that I'm the good guy here, but Captain America's the good guy and I'm fighting him. But Steve takes this to a level where it's like, I can't reason with the lengths that he goes to specifically. Like we said, the part where he tricks Tony and tricks all of them
Mm.
in the power plant. I'm like, why not
God, I
have
hate
the
that. I hate
conversation?
that.
What
Also,
is so
okay.
bad about the conversation?
Can I give you another one too? And Tyler, you'll
Yes,
remember
please.
this. Okay. So, Iron Man 2004/2005. No one agrees on when that run started, apparently. But issue 13 and 14 are the tie-in issues.
Mhm.
I reading the main book, right? Happy shows up a couple times, and I'm like,
He does, yeah.
I thought Happy fucking died already because like he dies in that book. Happy dies in issue 13, which is like halfway through Civil War. Not
Mhm.
sure that that lines up with the main book, but anyway, Happy Hogan dies. It's like Spy Master or someone that does it. I could be wrong. Don't at me. And then Tony gets a call from Cap, and Cap's like, hey, meet us. And so Cap meets Tony in a baseball field, and Tony's like, did you have anything to do with like Happy's death? Which obviously he didn't, but he's
Yeah.
like, it's the
Projecting.
Civil War movie thing. It's like he's lashing out in anger because
Yeah.
he's just lost someone. He's lost a best friend. And then Cap's like, no, but I did hear about it and I'm really sorry. Anyway, get him. And then all of Cap's team show up to like attack Tony individually.
Read the
And I
room,
was just
Steve.
I was like, dude, they have gone like to extreme lengths to make Tony look
Well,
like
it's-
not an asshole here to just
but
be
it's
like,
interesting.
what if Cap
Yeah.
betrayed him a second time after Tony's friend died so he could just like gang up on him? I was like,
But this
oh,
is
man.
what I think is interesting when you look at it from the Mark Millar satirical lens or whatever, where it's like, okay, well, if Captain America
here we
is
go.
like this, Captain America is like this, what is he trying to say about, like, because obviously this is a very, like, I was reading a interview with him and he goes to the furthest of lengths to go, this is not political, this is not influenced by everything. I mean, he's like, I can't say that it's not influenced by anything because I'm a writer and I just, it would be purely
I pick up
coincidental,
things,
though.
yeah.
He's like, it's
Sure.
not intentional. And I'm like, you're a liar.
Sure.
Everything
Yeah.
in
You're a
here
liar.
is entirely
Sure,
intentional.
buddy.
And this is obviously a reaction, post 9/11 Bush era, like NRA spying on people, just unabashed war powers for the president, stuff like that. Like,
Is it? This is years after though. Like this is a
yeah, that's why I'm saying this is a response to that. Like the whole
oh
era,
to the reaction. I see. Okay.
yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
post 9/11 era of the United
Yeah,
States,
okay.
where we kind of go down a darker path. Obviously, we're not quite out there yet, but this is obviously what that's about, right? And so it's like, okay, well, we're gonna make Captain America look like this big stupid idiot jock because that's what the United States is right now, right?
Yeah,
and so when you think of
interesting,
it,
yeah.
I guess it's like the parody lens of like, I'm Captain America, yep,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what this version of Steve Rogers is. He's not the character that's like, I'm only loyal to the dream or whatever. And he's conflicted because, like, how am I supposed to represent this country if it's doing things I don't agree with, but I'm literally wearing the flag? This is not that Steve Rogers. This is the propaganda, we want you, war bonds, Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
100%.
there's so much you could have done, like with Cap as an actual character in this story, because like I like the idea of the future encroaching on Captain America, right? The world wants this, regardless of what he agrees with. The general public agrees that superheroes need to be registered, right? The Registration Act goes through because people wanted it to happen, because there need to be repercussions for what happened in Stanford. And so you can tell a story where Steve Rogers is this old man fighting this tide, but he can't beat it because like this is what's happening in the world, right? But this old man is so bitter about what? Like I'm like, you're supposed to be optimistic. You're supposed to be through like the light in the darkness. And he's doing in the story is perpetuating this dark vision and this nihilistic vision of the world. Like I think as comic book readers, like we, comic books and superheroes are inherently American. They represent what we would consider even, metaphorically American ideals. And so we understand the idea of this great, perfect, air quotes, America of morals and yada, yada. Even if it doesn't exist, we understand that concept, right? And that's what Captain America is supposed to be. When you take him and you put him like this and you crank the knob to like 10 on the nihilism version of him, it's like I don't
doesn't
even
feel like the
recognize
same
who this
character
is.
whatsoever. Yeah,
And I feel
exactly.
like you've kind of robbed the story of the depth it could have had if you stop for a second. You
Made him
America,
Captain
think
America.
About this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the truth is that this event could not happen if Steve and Tony spoke to each other for 10 seconds in it and understood each other as the characters they're supposed to be. I understand that you have to have the heroes fighting each other. I real quick before you continue, there's a quote I wanted to find.
You know
It's from Mark
exactly where I
Millar.
was going with that.
Yeah, stop it. Mark Millar talks about how he loves the heroes fighting. He says, "It's a beat 'em up. One of the huge differences between Marvel and DC for me as a wee boy was that Marvel guys would always meet, fight, and then realize the error of their ways. It was peculiar, but also unpredictable." You knock it off, you idiot. And then he says, this is the craziest quote I've ever heard. He says, "The closest thing to porn when you're 9 years old is seeing that explosion of color with 50 superheroes together in a single image." I'm like, okay, you're weird,
Okay.
but sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you
Sure,
mean, but that's
yeah.
a weird way to put it.
Yeah, like
But that's like that's it's a Marvel, it's inherently a Marvel thing for them to fight each other.
yes, yeah. Well, you say that, Tyler, if they just had like 10 seconds where they could fucking sit down and talk. Our favorite issue
Talk
of
to me.
all time, Christos Gage, Casualties of War issue, Tony, Cap meeting at Avengers Mansion, talking it out. Absolutely fire. Does it even feel like it has any bearing on the event whatsoever? Because
No.
reading it in context, dude, I was like I would have read Civil War and then read that issue at some point. It might have been years
me
later
too.
and been like, oh, that's a really good like reframing during the event. Because I've always maintained that, like, oh, well, the tie-ins, and I've got more that I want to talk about, but like the tie-ins add something to the event where you can be like, oh, now I get where Tony's coming from, and now I get where Steve's coming from. None of them actually do that. They're all like separate entities where the motivation is actually a different thing, and it, you know, makes this character. You look at the main event, you're like, well, that's not actually. Like, oh, Tony Stark was pro-registration before the kids blew up. How does that, you know, like, it doesn't make any sense. We'll get into that later. But, like, that issue, Casualties of War, is like a phenomenal single issue of Tony Stark and Captain America written as they're supposed to be, arguing ideology back and forth. Tony being like, Cap, we live in the modern world. There has to be nuance, but you have this impossible idea of what people should be because you're Captain America. And anytime someone doesn't live up to that idea, you think that they're just, you know, they're worthless. And maybe that's Tony projecting his own self.
Yes.
Oh, it's my cat meowing. I just heard like howling. I was like, the fuck?
Outside or something.
That's
I don't know what's
Tony
going on.
projecting his
World's ending.
own, you know, his own self-worth and what he thinks Cap probably thinks of him. But he's right in the sense that like their ideologies are formed from different eras. Cap has a far more black and white kind of view, and that's what Tony is saying. Tony's view is obviously biased in what he is supporting, but he's like, dude, the world does not work this way anymore. I want it to, Cap. Like, I really would like it to be, it's this and this, because Cap is just like, no, like, you do what's right because it's right. The good thing is the good thing. And Tony's like, yeah, but the good thing is sometimes muddled in gray. It's not always just
and it's hard to
objectively
do.
good. Yeah, and
you
like that
can't
issue is
even if you think it's the right thing, you cannot force people to do that or think that. Like,
exactly,
you
yeah.
have to understand that this is the world. Like I love, like,
or to
it
have
is
a
one of-
conversation about it. The fact that they refuse to have a conversation about it at the start, and even after, you know, in this book, obviously Tony sheds the armor, they duke it out. We get the flashbacks to when, you know, Captain America met Tony Stark back in the day, and he's training him and everything.
That
and
part
it's
was
like,
cool. That part was cool.
so good. And like, obviously we get at the end, Cap's just like, you know, we should have talked sooner, even though they hadn't sorted anything out. Just seeing like those characters even be able to present ideology when they do not present it in the main book is like, God, it feels so good, but it has no bearing and no tie and really no connection to the fucking like the main book. Like, it's a beautiful nostalgic trip of all their best moments. They bring up fucking Armor Wars. I love that shit. But like,
when he paralyzes Steve for 10 seconds or whatever.
Steve, and then like they contrast that with Steve betraying Tony in Civil War, and I'm like, okay, I like that, but it just has so absolutely no bearing on the main event because those characters are written the way they are that it's hard to look at those issues and be like, oh, that actually makes it work, because it doesn't. It like they work in a vacuum.
I am totally, like, we talk about this all the time, but I'm totally enamored by the Steve Rogers, you know, the Captain America Iron Man relationship as a whole. Like, I think it's so complex and it's layered in ways that like other characters don't have. Like Tony definitely hero worships Steve because
100%.
he believes like, oh, Steve is the example of what a good superhero is. And Steve Rogers, like, I think the poorly written versions of him think that Tony is this asshole or whatever, obviously, but Steve Rogers in his heart knows that Tony Stark is a good person, is a hero, wants to do the right thing, believes in good. He knows, like, at the end of the day, these two guys are on the same page about everything. They'll argue about the methods, they'll argue about the means, but at the end of the day, they are on the same page. Like that's just what's interesting about the two of them. Tony doesn't want the registration. He knows it has to happen. Steve doesn't want this registration. He's going to fight against it, but they're still on the same page that they don't want the registration, right? Like they are essentially, I think their morals are way more similar than we would really give credit to. And
no, I think they 100%. I think this is the only book that really ever presents them as not being that.
Exactly, and that's why this is such a failure, because like their relationship is so complicated, so complex. For it to not for this to be Civil War, Captain America versus Iron Man, and their relationship is barely like they don't talk, they barely interact, they fight. It's like they don't have this generations of history,
of history to get. That's exactly it.
I was reading what Millar said, and he's like, oh, it had to be Cap and Iron Man because they're the Avengers, right? Like that's easy selling people. He's like, I don't think that a Gambit versus Bishop event would have done so well. It's like, yeah, no, it obviously would have done so well, but maybe you would have actually written about Gambit and Bishop. You didn't write about Steve and Tony here at all.
But like that fight, Tony sheds the armor and they punch on and we parallel to the past. Imagine that being the final fight in Civil War, where you feel their history coming together. You can feel their ideologies clashing. You can feel like they have been like this forever, and this is the thing that split them apart. But like the final issue, Tony Stark is barely in it. Cap just beats him up, and then like what, New Yorkers
Tony
just
tells him to kill him.
9/11 stops him. Yeah,
it's just like, come on.
All the guys from Spider-Man.
We're not fighting for anything. We're just fighting or whatever. Cap said.
Yeah. That's right.
You want to pick on that guy that's trying to save a bunch of kids? Yeah, you know what it is, and it's interesting. Again, I was reading the Millar interview about this. That. There's this whole debate. Steve was never going to kill Tony there, obviously. Like, you want, like, they kind of frame it like it's going to be a killing blow from Captain America. He was never going to kill Tony.
No.
But him being tackled by the people, it's not necessarily that... like, it's interesting, right? It's that the people... It's not even that they think... Those people necessarily think that Cap is wrong. They just want to pretend that there's no issue. They don't want to see the fighting anymore. They don't want it to affect them. They just want it to stop, right? We just want to feel safe, right? And you are not making us feel safe with this. And I think that that's what happens to Steve in that moment, where he's like, well, we're not fighting for anything. We're just fighting. It's the easiest line he could think of to get that emotion across. But in reality, it is like Steve kind of coming to this realization that, like, I think he's bitterly disappointed by the world in that moment. Like, he's hit a wall where he's like, this is what people want, and I've totally lost the argument. Even if I won this fight, I have lost this argument, and I'm realizing now that it goes deeper than just me and Tony. Like, this is what the world is heading towards. So he submits. Like, that's the part where he's like, I can't do this anymore. He does get himself arrested. And again, the book does not present that nuance. He says it in the easiest kind of terms, but it's like, if this was, if only Bendis wrote this, then this would have made sense. If I could go back in time,
this era Bendis too, because modern era Bendis writing Civil War.
Oh my god, because like, especially what happens after this, the tragedy that comes out of Civil War is so much grander than the actual story of Civil War.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Like obviously after this, Steve Rogers is killed on the way to the trial, right? And that's huge. I remember.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
The death of Captain America.
That was on huge, the news and real life and everything. Yeah,
it's like 2 million issues or something it sold.
And then you have Bucky and okay.
And that the confession issue.
The confession.
It's the Bendis Maliv. It's all dialogue. Tony going, Steve yelling at Tony in the cell, and then Tony talking to Steve's dead body. Right.
It's unbelievable. Hunter, have you read that issue?
I have. I have.
Yeah,
it's the fuck, right? Dude. It's the fucking best. I read it like, I went to bed. It was like 2 a.m. last night. It was the last thing I was reading, and I got to that moment. It was
Steve goes off. And I love it. Right, Steve is pissed.
This is when the camera's like pointing down.
I don't even know if he's necessarily mad at Tony in that moment. He's just mad. He's just like, this is wrong. The world is wrong.
Oh, when he's in the cell, and he's just laying into him. I can't
even understand that this is the world that we're living in, nor can I understand that this is the world that you're going to bring us towards. Whatever. I like Tony rubbing it off. You just sound like a sore loser.
Well, you're a sore loser, Cap.
Exactly.
But dude,
the opposite side is like maybe the best comic book ever. The best 12 pages I've ever read in my life.
I
forget how it starts. Does it start with Tony or
it's him like Steve? It starts with Tony. It starts with Tony walking and past all the Shield agents and just him then yapping. But yeah, dude, the thing I can't live with has happened for all our back and forth and all the things we've said and done to each other, for all the hard questions I've had to ask and the terrible lies I've had to tell. There's one thing that I'll never be able to tell anyone now. Not my friends, not my co-workers or the president. The one thing I should have told you, but now I can't. It wasn't worth it. Dude, fuck that.
Yeah, that page.
That should have been the end of the book.
Magic.
That should have been the end of the
best
book.
page.
Oh my
Magic.
god.
Like especially there's a part, and I love it, where it's like Bendis even infuse like Bendis at this point was so good at infusing the character into the dialogue. But there's the part where like Tony says, you know, the only good thing that's ever come out of this is I didn't take a drink, and if I'm not going to take a drink now, I'm probably never will in my life. Like I love that. That's a part where Tony, like, you want to believe, and you know, you think that Tony Stark, he is this kind of, he's not nihilistic at all. You know, he is optimistic. He wants to be optimistic about the world. And so he wants to find a good thing in this. He wants to find that there's any sliver of goodness in what happened here. And I like that he says something like that, because it really makes him feel real. You know, it makes him feel like a real person, where he's like, you know, I have to find something good about this because I'm staring at Steve Rogers' dead body right now.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it.
It's
I
love that.
I want to present you with
The
something.
trade just ends with him getting arrested, and that's it.
Yeah,
So
well, that's
like
how- that's how
we
Civil
missed
War
the best
ends.
part.
Yeah, that
That is
yeah,
how the book
that's it.
ends. You know, real quick, when we get to the ending, I think I read again that interview. You know who came up with the ending? You'll never guess who came up with the ending.
The Rock. How
Um,
about that
Rogers gets
ending?
tackled
How about that
by
ending?
9/11.
Steve Rogers gets Sam Raimi.
No, you're closer than you'd think, though. In a sense,
Bruce Campbell?
Ted Raimi?
no, not
Bruce
not for that.
Tobey Maguire?
Joss
Yeah.
Whedon. Joss Whedon came up with that.
Oh, of course. It was Joss
So
Whedon.
apparently they
He
were
was
they
involved,
were
yeah,
they
okay.
were at.
Is that why that one New Yorker
Summit.
falls and he lands on Cap's boobs
falls
and he
right
goes,
through.
"Whoa."
Oh, I was gonna say he falls through the ground. Yeah. No, but he said like, this is a good idea. This was a good.
So, then later that New Yorker is just like, I was going to join you in the shower, but I wasn't sure.
Okay, yeah, great.
God.
I love that he reuses that joke for Wonder Woman.
Yeah, he literally does it twice. Yeah.
But I think, and apparently he screamed at Gal Gadot. He's like, "I'll ruin your career if you don't make this stupid joke." Anyway,
That one New Yorker?
She didn't need any help, dude.
yeah, Joss Whedon said he popped into the room when they were doing the summit. They couldn't figure out the ending. Apparently, the ideas were like, "Oh, we'll have the Hulk show up from space and they'll all fight the Hulk and it'll be a good guys win." You know, like they didn't want to have the ending where the superheroes
Giant
they all
squid.
lose. Yeah, exactly, giant squid. But they didn't want to. They didn't know how to really do the ending where, they all lose like they do in this story. Like this is everyone loses in this. And that's kind of a darker ending. They couldn't figure it out. And then they were going to leave it that, yes, you know, some other big threat shows up and they all have to team up to fight the big threat, you know? And then Joss Whedon shows up and he's like, no, you've sold this book for 6 months. If there's no winner at the end, people are going to tear down these, tear their comics apart.
Right. He's
so it's
right,
true.
yeah.
Yes. You have to have a winner. And I think it's interesting that, you know, he kind of does maneuver it in a way, Millar, where he gets to have his cake and eat it too. Like they both win. Captain America wins a physical fight.
That's all
but
of these
Tony
like
Stark-
hero versus hero things.
Yes.
It's like, oh, they
But
both
it's-
won.
I think it's
all of
interesting
them
that
end
that I think it's interesting that Tony loses that fight. You know, like the physical battle at the end.
Easy. It's like, it's so quick, dude. It literally
Yeah.
is nothing.
So
It's such a nothing
you could
final
say
fight.
that's where Steve takes it too far. You know, like he wouldn't have gone that hard if not for this situation. Can we talk about Goliath real quick also?
He died.
Poor Goliath.
What the fuck?
Bill Foster
Dude,
just
what the
killed
fuck?
by a
clone of Thor.
Thor.
And
Maniac
hasn't been
Thor.
revived, right? He's still
dead. Still dead.
Wow.
I have
Can
a
I-
headcanon. I like to headcanon that they go there, Steve and Tony. Like that every year on the anniversary of
grave?
his death or whatever, they go there because they're like, God, we really, this was horrible, you know?
Yeah.
Because you have to have
And Steve's
that-
like, I don't know about all this wee business, Tony.
yeah, like you have to have that weight, right? Like the thing is that they kill the hero. They probably pick the hero that people would care about the least is the truth, but like they still kill the hero.
Yeah.
And they had to have consequences, and obviously the consequences in story is that that Peter changes sides, but like the fact that they are still not living with this, like this should be something that they live with every day. Steve and Tony, like we got our, you know, fuck me getting killed, Steve. You know, like we got our friend murdered by a robot.
Yeah.
You know,
Correct.
that's
Yeah.
something they should live with forever. And the fact that like Goliath isn't back, but they haven't really had this massive repercussion, is I just don't. That doesn't make sense to me.
I bet Reed
Yeah,
Richards was like, well, statistically, Goliath dying was actually the best
Fucking
outcome.
Reed
So like,
Richards, bro.
Yeah,
Reed
because
Richards is
like,
terrible in
yo,
this, dude. He's
end
the
end
worst.
of end of Secret Wars when Franklin's restoring the universe, he goes to bring back Black Goliath, and Reed goes, no, 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 no,
No.
no, no,
Yeah,
no,
it's
No,
just
no,
Goliath.
don't do it.
Actually,
Yeah,
It's just
Black Goliath.
I don't know, man.
It's
That's so
crazy.
funny.
No, but it's true.
Is
He must
that-
have, right? Because he
should
even
we-
brought back Tony and Steve from the dead. They died, right? So
Yeah,
he even
yeah,
brought back
yeah.
Tony
Yeah,
as
literally.
a good guy.
He brought, the amount of people that legitimately were dead, like dead. It's
Dead,
not
dead.
like
Yeah.
they were dead.
Even
He restarted all.
even like Doctor Strange and whatnot. You know, they died.
Doctor Strange, like he died on Battleworld. He's probably the deadest of them because he
Yes,
actually
exactly.
lived to Battleworld and then died, and now he
Yeah.
doesn't remember it. He's a proper reboot,
It's
man.
crazy,
Dude,
that
you know
they
the
have not
realest
brought him
thing in
back.
Civil War is Reed being what Reed is being, and then Sue leaving him and going straight to
Yes.
Namor, dude. Like I'd want to fuck Namor too if
That's
my husband was
insane, yeah.
Reed in this
It's
book.
funny.
Seriously,
Reed is the
Yeah.
worst. I don't get. This is the one where I'm like, I can't even wrap my head around who you think this character is. You know, like
Hmm.
because Reed
He's
Richards.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, exactly.
wow,
If
yeah.
if I think Reed Richards on a side of this, I think probably would be pro registration. Like I think sure he's on the right side. That he. I
Oh
think
yeah,
the
because he is
character
a
would be.
public figure. So
He's a public
yeah.
figure. He's never had to deal with the repercussion like that because they do take responsibility. You know, they're the Fantastic
Uh-huh.
Four. They're
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
spokesperson. Like anytime anything bad ever happens, it's Reed Richards that goes up and addresses it. So he's never had to live with a reality where they're underground and they're hiding. He has to protect his family. He has to protect his identity. Like
Mhm.
they are insulated, being the Fantastic Four. But I just never for a second believe that Reed would go to these lengths and destroy his personal relationships with his wife, with his children, with his family over this thing. I don't think there's anything in the world that can make him do that.
Reed Richards, the dude whose arch nemesis is a like dictator in a foreign country, decides to be a dictator and send all his friends to
a
like
foreign universe.
to the foreign universe,
like
yeah.
space, yeah.
Puts them in hell,
Yes,
and it's just
literally.
like, no, it's just a temporary thing. We'll figure it
Yeah,
out
the
later.
negative zone.
No, no,
run by
no,
a
no.
nihilist.
Add more voltage to the Thor clone, Tony.
Yeah, exactly. And it's even like there's no part of him that regrets any of this in this book. Like I don't get it where he goes, they're at Goliath's funeral, and Reed says, "Does anybody else think that Peter Parker is acting a little suspicious? You just killed Goliath. Of course he feels bad about it."
Add more voltage to the Thor clone, Tony.
Jarvis.
That could be a line from this
Yeah,
book.
exactly. He's even like Reed, like what's his name? Johnny gets attacked earlier. He goes into a coma, and T'Challa's like, "Oh, how's Johnny?" And he's like, "I don't know. Sue's been there. He's telling you whatever."
Yeah, I haven't been there in days.
Wakanda's
Yeah.
amazing. And it's like,
Yeah.
Reed, I just don't believe that he could
Lock
ever be
in
in a
Reed,
situation
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Like he would be by Johnny's side 24/7. He wouldn't leave. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't get it. I the idea of Reed and Tony and Hank Pym as a brain trust coming up with ideas, sure, right? It's interesting that those three are their own little group, but they don't have Pym on the Illuminati. But whatever, he's too mentally unstable. Whatever, doesn't make sense. But it's just the idea that these guys are supposed to be heroes. Reed Richards, especially, is a superhero. Like these are not. This is not a recognizable version of these characters. You know, it's just not.
Oh yeah,
It
that's
just
we're
doesn't
kind
make
of just
sense.
repeating that.
Even
Yeah.
like we have to address Spider-Man. Like
Oh my god, dude, the identity reveal. I could not believe it happened
I
that
didn't wanna
quickly.
turn the
no
page.
build up.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't-
like
I-
page
happened.
2.
yeah,
it was just like,
issue
oh,
two-
he's
yeah, but again, I'm in my head. I'm trying to
We-
okay, what is the rationale behind Peter doing this thing that he would
Mm.
never, ever, ever, ever do, right? And it's like, okay, well, Peter's
We
on
get the L,
Avengers.
and then it's like the next page.
Fuck, that is a
Peter's-
5-page to be fair.
That is awesome. Yeah, Peter's on the Avengers, and
Do you get my
this
Zoom
is
name?
crazy. Yes, we are. Oh, nice. War Part 107.
my-
Nice, funny.
It's the page. Yeah.
Do you get mine?
Yeah, what about mine? There's a lot of fireworks.
Roy
outside.
Harper's
American
DC dude.
assholes.
Oh
Um,
fuck! Damn it!
but it's like
Lava.
I'm like, okay, Peter's a part of the Avengers. He's at a point in his life where it's like he's way more comfortable than he's ever been. He's living in Avengers Tower. Aunt May lives there. MJ lives there with him. He's married, yada yada. I'm like, okay, well, he's in a comfortable enough position, and he's also like, for one of the first times in his life, a representative of the superhero community, right? He's part of the Avengers, and so you could theoretically have Peter go, listen, man, you know, we have to take responsibility. And the biggest way we can do that is by winning back the trust of the people. And you have the most important secret identity out of anybody we know. If you do this, that will instantly build the trust and the registration. You get the argument, but that doesn't happen in this book. No one ever says that.
No,
You know what I
it
mean?
literally
It's like
just happened.
Peter, and I don't think this is untrue. We said this when we did One More Day. Peter unmasks in this book specifically so they can break up the marriage. Like, I just don't think there's any other reason for that to happen in this, you know? And again,
Yeah.
we talked about this then too. When that happens, my name is Peter Parker. I've been Spider-Man since I was 15 years old. I cannot imagine reading that at the time and thinking like, my mind would have exploded. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
that is the most important secret identity in comic books, right? Like, there's just no, like, bigger than Bruce Wayne or Clark Kent or whatever. Peter Parker is why we read Spider-Man. You don't read it for the Spider-Man stuff.
He's bigger than
Peter
Elvis.
Parker stuff.
Yeah, you're bigger than Elvis,
So
kid.
I don't know, man. I love the part. I do say I love the part where JJ just collapses. You know, he's like, he just collapses at his desk. That's very funny. But yeah, at least Peter does change his mind, right? He changes sides. That makes sense.
Again, he's barely. I feel like Spider-Man should be a character in this. He's barely like a thing in this book. He's just in the background. He's there for the identity reveal.
Yeah.
And then, like, the best part about Peter's turning is, like you said, Tyler, there's that one, like, Goliath dies short, and then you get that one page of Reed going, do you think, like, Peter Parker's looking a bit suspicious? And then, like, halfway through an issue, we just cut to Spider-Man and
He's
Iron
like
Man,
in the sewers.
They're like
mid-meta
mid-fight. And, like, there's a wall
Oh,
missing,
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and Tony's just like, don't do it, Peter.
but-
And he's like, I'm gonna fucking do it. It's just like, okay,
Yeah, I love that.
We've just missed like half an issue. Where did that come
when
from?
does that happen? You know, it's also the interesting. God, we suffered so long in the MCU hearing about these Iron Boy Jr. allegations, but it's like the Peter Parker and Iron Man relationship. I think it does make sense. I think Peter would trust, like, especially if they had a heart to heart, Peter would trust this guy who takes responsibility for his mistakes, who has lived a past life of sin. Peter thinks he's done that. Peter respects responsibility. Like, that's what his entire mantra. I think they would bond very quickly, very easily, you know, especially they're both geniuses, scientists, you know, they could relate to that kind of stuff. And now that Tony's an orphan, technically, like, oh my God, you guys have everything in common.
Yeah.
It does make Peter look kind of lame when he's being convinced as a 30-year-old man to do things by Iron Man, you know?
That's it. Yeah, you're a grown. He doesn't have the kid excuse. Exactly.
Like with
grown-ass man.
with Tom Holland, you have that excuse. You know, what is the line in Civil War, the movie Civil War, where he's like, "What did Stark tell you anything? That you're wrong, you think you're right, and you know it's dangerous."
Dangerous.
Yeah,
it's like that's it. You know, Peter has no context for the situation. He's been thrown
into
this.
The onus
That's what he
on
was
that
told.
is all on Tony.
Yes.
It's Tony getting it. It's Tony believing that, like, I'm going to get this kid. I'm going to recruit him. I'm going to just come in here and web them up, and that's your job. And then obviously it immediately gets out of hand because, like, he didn't think 2 steps ahead. He was too deep in. Yeah. But like the book is, it's all, he can't be angry at Tony in the fucking start of One More Day where he's just like, it's all your fault. It's like, sorry, bro, what are you talking about? You've got a receding hairline at this point, Peter. You need to own up to your fucking responsibilities, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Can I give you something that is absolute, like, this is my favorite example of trying to explain a motivation in an event, and it just doesn't feel like it lines up whatsoever.
Yes,
okay,
please.
right? So the follow-up story to Extremis was Execute Program, written by my beloved Norths. I know you love the Norths, Tyler.
Yeah, of course.
Second Iron Man story I ever read. It is the story where we find out that Jensen, who saved Tony Stark's life, maybe wasn't the best guy ever. And then it is a story about Jensen's son, who blames Tony Stark for his dad's death, infecting like the new. There's a lot of that going around. Yeah. Infecting the Neuralink in Tony Stark's like body now because of the Extremis suit and
Extremis, yeah.
whatever. Basically taking over Tony, not just the suit, like it's not, demon in a bottle. It's literally taking
It's
over
not
Tony's
masking the Iron
real.
Man.
No, it's literally Tony's body. Um, and basically uses Tony to kill a bunch of people. And like the mystery is just like, oh, is it someone like there's someone who's dressed as Iron Man murdering people? No, it is Tony Stark. We get through the whole end of that arc. Tony Stark looks like this in this book, by the way. This is how he looks. He's dyed his hair and shaved.
This US agent.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers, right? And this is the end of that book. So he's talking to his friend Sal, who's like his mate in that run. And Sal goes, he goes, don't go there. That's Sal. Look, there he is. Looks
nice.
exactly like Sal from Impractical.
That was not what I
like
was thinking.
JMS.
He was in a Mr. Beast video. I saw Sal.
Okay.
Anyway,
Cool.
not that I watch Mr. Beast. Not that I watch Mr. Beast.
I think you do. I think you do.
No, hang on. No, I don't watch Mr. Beast. I don't watch Mr. Beast. No, anyway, don't go there, man. None of this was your fault. Not legally, not ethically, not morally. You said it yourself. The armor is like a gun. It was Jensen's son that aimed it and pulled the trigger. And then Tony goes, you're right, Sal, but I'm not the only gun lying around. Whether they go bad or they're co-opted like I was, the result is the same. An unacceptable loss of innocent lives. Every superhero is a potential gun. And the last time I checked, guns required registration. That does not line up with the actual story. Like, it's a hard final page, and it's like a personal motivation. Tony has literally been used to murder people, and he feels personally like responsible for that, even though it's not his fault. But it then does not line up with the like. It's a really good final moment, but it doesn't actually line up. And his motivation in Civil War, the scant amount of it that we get, it doesn't line up with that. And I find it so funny, the disconnect between main book and people trying to write Tony as a character in like other issues. Like,
what do you?
It's just insane.
Okay, we can end this compliment sandwich with I think the
Oh, yeah,
fights are
that's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when Cap's shield is more effective in this than most comics.
Yeah,
like when he like hits Punisher over the head with it, I felt that.
Bomb
Went to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. You know, there's a panel that's been
Or
stuck
like
in my head since I was a kid.
Same.
It's
I wonder if it's
when-
the same one.
It's when Iron Man punches Steve.
It's not the same
Steve's
one.
Like this panel right here. This has been stuck in my head since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it's just so visceral. I love it. It's so cool.
So for me,
it's
it's like the same page. Yeah, it's this one right here. It's the next page. When I remember reading this as a kid, I thought Captain America killed Iron Man when he like slices at his neck and you see like the cast. I'm like,
just
wow, he's dead.
Tyler, you want to bring up that page again of the punch?
Yeah, 1 second. Fuck, I'm trying to find the
He's lost it. You're right. Oh, you're
right.
No, oh, dude, it's so egregious. It's worse than I remember. It's just like half the panel is She-Hulk's ass, just right there, dude.
Hold on, I got the page.
So obviously, like Tony gives Spider-Man like the Iron Spider in that issue where they jump him. Spider-Man jumps on him, and like Tony obviously has like calculated all of his moves because he has the biometrics from the Iron Spider. So it's just Peter swinging, and then it's like him being like strike one, strike two. They're on a baseball field, and then the final panel is strike three, and it's like that panel.
It's awesome,
sick as fuck. Goes hard, man.
It's interesting.
Not to.
What's up?
Well, I was gonna say not to break the fourth wall here, but do we have someone waiting on us right now?
We have a special guest. Well, should we? How much
I
preamble?
just realized it's been a little over an hour, and it's like, oh, we should probably.
He's probably been waiting there for a lot. We have a special guest, listener of the show, and also member of the one-time single one-shot, never getting a second episode of Villain Story. That was Hunter.
Send out the link, guys. I haven't even sent it yet.
Have you not sent him the
You
link?
should do that. You should probably do that, man.
Well,
I was just thinking because I'm like, we're kind of wrapping up here. We're just be like,
waiting in.
No, you are
the
right.
entire time.
But
So
listener of the show was
rush
there for
you
Villain
guys here,
Story.
but-
He it was largely requested by the other listeners of the show in the Discord. They rallied against us. We were all unified. We said no, we do not want him. We absolutely
Tyler.
never get. No, all of us. No, it was all of us the same. We went, no,
Sorry,
we don't want him.
yeah, we hate him.
I shouldn't say this because he'll think we actually thought this. We did. We
No,
did.
we did not
But
think
he read as far as I know, he could come on here and fucking like just be like, no, I didn't actually read it. But allegedly read every single issue that tied into Civil War, including the new stuff, the anniversary issues, which I didn't read any
Which
of.
are
He told me to tell
interesting.
Tyler
Apparently,
to read them. I didn't.
They're
Was
Yeah,
that like the
but
stuff that came out this year? Like the
Yeah.
Civil War.
And that was the one that had the
Unmasked.
Tony Stark part where it's like Tony Stark be like, they'll never believe who's behind it all. And it's like, why is he evil?
There's also
But
a part
anyway,
where Iron Man fights Nimrod. He said, which is awesome.
let's
Yeah,
go.
Nimrod for the
Sorry,
X-Men.
we should have
Yeah,
read
I
it.
remember
But
seeing
yeah,
that.
he
See when
read
he joins.
allegedly every single tie-in and then wrote a huge essay on it. Now, I
Yes,
assume
big
he's
time.
not going to come on here and then just read the essay
Read the
verbatim.
essay.
That would be great.
No, yeah,
We'll
we'll
just-
we'll have to limit his time here.
But
yeah.
where the plan is to get Connor on to chat about his thoughts on Civil War because he's probably the most knowledgeable of anyone in the world. And also, we're going to read out the rest of the listener thoughts and opinions.
Should
and
we
can get
give
his
our
reactions to
score
them.
before?
I think it was worse than Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I think it was worse than Kingdom of
agree.
the Planet of the Apes.
I am gonna give it a
That is
rating.
a good
of-
rating system.
I'm gonna do a little bit of a different rating system. It is worse than Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm gonna give it the same score that anyone would give this cover as just a piece of art.
4.
4.
So,
Four?
so you're missing you're missing half of this. You have a big Captain America, a little
Oh,
Captain
5.
America. Like, no, I'm
50%.
just saying, why is this the main cover?
I know
Why
it's
is this
because
the
yeah,
main
you flip
cover?
it with. No, I agree. It looks it's because the back has
you know
Iron
what
Man,
it is?
but God,
It is
it looks
kinda
terrible.
striking.
Well, like a little Captain America, a big Captain America that's cut off by a jet.
The variants by Michael Turner are awesome. I mean, how many
Those are
t-shirts have you
cool,
seen
yeah.
this on? A million, you know? I've
Yeah,
seen
that's
this on
true.
1,000 t-shirts in my life.
I just like
All right.
I fully agree with Hunter. Like of all the pieces of art you're not even gonna use like the one where
It
like
makes it look
he's
prestige.
shooting
Yeah.
against the shield. Like what
I
do we
think it's
do?
supposed to make it look prestige. Kind of like Identity Crisis. The trades have like Brett Meltzer's name bigger than the title. It's like, supposed to look.
Yeah, okay, I get this
prestige,
is fine. This
guess.
is fine. But the main art is a jet, 2 Captain Americas, a 4 Spider-Man waving,
It's-
and then
Yeah,
it's-
it's true.
It's big Captain America
supposed
turning
to
into a
be
jet
a
and then
fall-
turning
a
into
fallback,
little
right?
Captain America.
yeah, it's
supposed
like
to
an
be a fallback.
Animorph cover.
Yeah, it's like an animal.
Like
It's so
awful.
it was
You know
so-
what? Remember,
it's so
when
bad.
Superman
And-
had those? Remember when Superman had
And
that power? He could
12-year-old
shoot little
Hunter
mini
saw this and
Supermans?
went like, I need this right
Yeah,
now.
I need the 8th printing of this.
Whoa, that was a
All right,
fatal
Connor's
mistype.
here. Let's let him in. Let's get
go.
him in.
Wait.
Wait. Oh.
That's literally what it looks
Oh.
like. What is he doing?
Wrong way.
Oh my
Fucking all right, the worst.
god.
Wait. We speak again.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Now we can hear.
Yeah,
you.
Did you buy did you buy that outfit especially for this?
No, I didn't. I actually had this from
Wow.
like 3 years ago. It's
King
so
of
small.
Spades.
This is like Robert Downey Jr. showing up to Comic
The
Con.
fucking not only the reveal, but the fact that his camera has the focus, he's got the zoom
Blur.
blur on it.
More professional at all. He's wearing the sunglasses. Wow, okay.
Jeez,
Dude,
look at us, we're
I
nerds.
have like a professional camera, so I was like, man, I need to make this as good as I can.
Yes, like
Looks
one of the
good as
IMAX
fuck.
cameras that Christopher Nolan broke.
So why did you read all
Exactly.
those issues, Connor?
Yeah, why'd you read all those issues?
Harper broke into my home and put a gun to my head.
Harper.
Hey, that was so that you would read that Fraction
Harper.
Iron Man. That had nothing. No, that was so you
Harper.
would agree that the Daredevil Born Again season 3 suit looks good.
Do you do it like in Ben's apartment that
Oh,
Kingpin
that
goes
doesn't
to
look
in,
nearly
like,
as good as his
Daredevil season
camera.
1? He was like, I've made
That's
mistakes.
exactly what I would. Yeah, no, that's
Okay,
exactly what
yeah.
it was like.
I figured.
So what did you read exactly? So okay, you read all the tie-ins to the main book and the new issue, like from the what is it, Frontline or whatever? What's the new thing?
Is it
Yeah.
unmasked?
So yeah, it's unmasked.
Unmasked.
I have them right here.
Oh.
I came prepared, motherfuckers. So
We don't.
Uh,
swear on
Oh,
this
they're
podcast,
also
by the
cut
way.
off.
wow.
yeah, so they
cut
started
off,
releasing Unmasked for their 20th anniversary. Since
Is
it's
it
been 20. It's been
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, it's been 20 years.
What the heck? Whoa, you also
It's got a blackest
Yeah.
night ring. I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
yeah.
what the heck?
Let's go.
All right. This is better than mine too. Sorry.
Well, mine,
Connor's-
I have all the ones in like metal and stuff.
I don't, dude.
Oh,
Connor's
man.
aura is
I wish
like
I
it's
was the
actually
king of
making
spades.
me more nervous than he is.
Like,
Like,
yeah, what-
Connor
No,
was saying
no,
that-
dude. I like
No.
as I was turning around, my heart felt like it was gonna beat out of my chest. It was kind of hurting. It was that.
Trust me, dude, you cannot do worse than me coming on this show on episode 102 or whatever and being like, let me drop a little truth bomb. My name's Josh.
That was pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. I don't think that
I don't
might be
think
the
I
worst
don't
thing.
think I've seen your guys'
Watch it. Everyone listening, watch episode
No,
101.
no, we don't have to do that. We
Don't
don't
do
have
that,
to go
please.
that far
Harper's
back.
first appearance on this podcast. It's so funny. Anyways, yeah, Civil War.
Why'd
Yeah,
you do
which-
that?
Yeah,
What did you
it's
read?
not good.
What was it that you read? Like, what were the
Let's go.
tie-ins? You read every tie-in. So from
Yes,
like every
except
book.
so I
How
I
many
did
of the- how
not
many
read
is
the
there?
casualties of war because they didn't really. No. Let me say. No.
Ever?
The casualty of war tie-ins just because they didn't really have anything to do with the Civil War. Like I read the Moon Knight one, and Cap shows up for like a page and just goes, "Don't show up ever."
Must be a different
Yeah.
thing then. A different
Yeah, it's
set of
it
tie-ins.
feel like it's kind of
You read the one where they
it's
fight
just
in
like a
Avengers
rush.
Mansion.
But you read, yeah,
yes,
the cap
yes,
on.
that's yes. I
Okay,
read
oh, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay,
He's
okay.
right. He's right.
That's the best
Oh.
issue in the entire, like
Yes.
the whole thing.
Yeah. I was about to be like, Jarvis, kick him.
Which is crazy because which is crazy because I read the Demon in the Bottle right after Civil War, and I didn't
Wow,
realize
yeah,
that's
yeah.
where he learns
To how to fight, yeah.
fight. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, everything comes
um,
back to Civil War.
In Illuminati.
That must have been like a
Unfortunately.
monumental experience.
Dude,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Illuminati.
sitting there in shock.
There's the part in Illuminati when it's like Tony gets kidnapped by the Skrulls in the first issue or whatever, and he fights all the Skrulls off, and he goes, "Thanks for the skills, Cap." It's like also.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
So
Damn.
what else did you read? You read, I'm assuming, like every book's tie-ins. Like you read like the Wolverine tie-ins.
Was
or
this
whatever?
like an omnibus, or were you just doing Marvel Unlimited,
Yeah.
or?
Unlimited, and I went on Comic Geeks to see what books because Marvel Unlimited for some reason
Wow.
didn't put some issues in there.
Yeah,
Like-
Marvel
So-
Unlimited is weird like that.
Thor
Yeah.
and Black Panther's wedding is a very interesting issue compared to Civil War. And
That's
they
a
don't-
Civil War tie-in?
That's a
It,
Civil War.
it is because
Wow.
Oh.
they invite Tony and Cap, and they both meet each other there,
Oh.
and they both go, "Nah, I fucking hate this guy," and they both leave. And they go, like they both leave
They
before
both
the wedding
leave.
starts.
Oh
That's
my god,
ridiculous.
so
No
awkward.
way.
Both of them
That's
each say,
crazy.
give our congratulations to Storm and leave.
Oh my
Not
god,
a
they're
job.
so petty. They're such babies, dude.
And every
It's
other
actually
so
pathetic.
funny.
and every other hero that's there is just like,
These fucking
so
guys.
are we
These assholes.
good or what's,
Yeah,
what's
It's
We're
like
gonna
a
start the
truth
wedding, or-
ceremony.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
crazy.
I
What do
had
you
no
think of the
idea.
main event?
the main event? Oh,
Yeah.
dude, there's nothing there.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, right. It's just like,
As I'm going through, I'm reading like what is it? I think in my because I don't know if you told people this, but I wrote an 11-page essay.
yeah, we
Yes.
did. We were living in fear that you were going to come on and just read it verbatim.
Like a
Just
manifesto,
11
yeah.
pages.
That's,
Run.
hey, Kev wanted me to do that, and I was like, no.
No, no.
So like issue 5, I think, is the main event. It jumps in, and Spider-Man and Iron Man are already fighting.
Oh my
with
God.
no
we said
slide,
that.
Yeah.
but it's all in ASM. Like
So
it's a
I
good
was-
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like in the tie-ins, is there like a build-up? Is there that moment between before Spider-Man like starts fighting Iron Man, or in
Yeah,
any
oh, yeah,
tie-in?
oh, yeah.
Oh, there is.
Wow.
Okay, so it is in tie-ins. Okay.
It's an amazing
No
Spider-Man.
way.
He
Why?
visits Tony brings him to it's the raft, right? Or not the
Mm.
raft, it's
The
Is
prison, the
Rikers?
prison 42, the
yeah,
negative
prison
zone one.
42.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Tony brings him there because Peter is like pissed about it and is like, take me there. And it seems horrible. They have people in VR headsets in like virtual rooms, and they're just laying there like this, going like, help me.
Oh my god.
It's so bad.
God damn it, Reed.
And Peter's just like,
Spider-Man's like, yeah, I get it now.
and then he like and then he like gives a stern talking to Reed, like, dude, what are you doing? Like, don't you have a
Mm.
family? Like,
Mhm.
Like what Black Panther was saying in the main book.
yeah. And it just, and then eventually he like starts sneaking. Turns out there's cameras all in their rooms, and he has to like sneak around to go convince Mary Jane and Aunt May that they need to leave. And then Tony just like barges through the wall and goes, yeah, no, fuck you.
Wow, that's so so crazy because in the main book, it just looks like they've had a disagreement. Like ever since Goliath died, Peter is clearly feeling different, and it looks like they're both on like even playing field. But in the Spider-Man issue, it's like no, Tony's like they're in under surveillance in his like fucking building, and then he just comes through the wall and it's like, nah.
You know what's also interesting is the you know that speech that what's her name gives in the Civil War movie, Sharon Carter. You got to plant yourself like a tree and not move or whatever. That's from Amazing Spider-Man Civil War tie-in. Steve Rogers says that to Peter. So they took that from the movie.
Do the Russos know balls?
They've read that issue. They read Amazing Spider-Man.
Wow. They know
speaking of surveillance, by the way, I think it's in the prelude to Civil War. Tony is such a creep in that issue because there's a bear in their bedroom where they're changing, and the camera is just watching them constantly, and he's like, "No, don't worry. It will like." Before he speaks to the bear, he's like, "Mary Jane, what a nice outfit you've chosen," and it's just like,
are you for real?
This is your goat, Harper?
Hang on. Is it your goat? Your goat is Hal Jordan. Leave me alone, bro. We are not the same, dude. Thor teamed up with Hitler. Don't fucking talk to me, motherfucker. Sorry. Wow. When you said bear, I thought you meant like there was a living bear in the room. I was like,
I thought so too. I was picturing like a grizzly.
Tony Stark's put a living bear in our sleeping quarters.
He watches his reports. Jarvis, get the bear to send. Get the
bear
bear to come, Mary Jane.
That's correct. So he puts a camera. That's fucking weird.
That's
dude. Who wrote that? What issue is that in Spider-Man?
I don't remember.
He's read too much. Civil War is rotting.
Here's a truth bomb. It was Joshua and Harper.
Fuck off.
I mean, I think that whole series up to that point was Straczynski. No, was that not
Spider-Man?
Straczynski?
Yeah, right. Damn. That's crazy.
Well, he does write Tony very good in those issues, except for that one moment.
I think that he just like oh my god, would obviously not do. They're so torn between the fact that they need him to be the antagonist while also writing him as a villain. Like,
yeah.
Just make him Kang again. That's my opinion.
Connor, I'm extremely curious about these modern issues, these anniversary issues, because we've read none of them.
What are they?
You specifically told us to read some of them, and you told me to tell Tyler to read some of them, and I went, "Yeah, I'll do that," and then didn't.
Hey, you shouldn't. I would not.
What is this?
You shouldn't.
Okay, so it's the untold stories of Civil War.
Let's go.
So it's stories that like I think that they either wanted to do and never had the time to do it, or new stories that they just want to tell between time.
Right
like
now.
I think issue 3 is going to be about Goliath. I don't know if that's out already. My
It's still coming out.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is like
there's only 2. I only got the first 2 issues because it's the only 2 that were out.
Are they good?
Issue 2, I'll get to issue 1 here in a minute. Issue 2 is just Peter talking to Mary Jane about, or like contemplating revealing his identity to the world and the lead up to that.
That's
which
so
they already do in ASM.
I was gonna say, that they're just doubling down on that.
Yeah, except everything that is in this issue has been said in ASM. So I'm like, man, no one else read these tie-ins except for me. Huh?
Who's writing these tie-ins now? Is it the same person, or like is it one person's writing the Civil War? Unmasked?
Yeah, it's just one person. These Civil War Unmasked is by Christos
Gage. Right. So like that's the thing. A person who writes a good Tony Stark as well, and is just generally a good writer. But like,
except Civil War Unmasked issue 1 is where it was. That's when I sent to the Discord and I was like, guys, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, what is this?
So I thought this was bait. I thought you were lying to me, and it was just
I didn't see this.
Hunter, I want you to guess who Iron Man fights in this issue.
Is it a hero?
No.
Is it a villain?
Guess literally
any.
Is it male or
yeah.
Do the guessing.
Are they on the
is it I don't know. You said Black, is it Black Cat?
Wrong, Nimrod.
No,
wait,
you did.
Yeah,
Tyler
yeah,
brought
yeah,
that up.
yeah.
Yeah. Fuck, Hunter, you had a layup, man.
Yeah, I know. I like Nimrod.
You
So.
this.
Yeah.
That's
Art's actually crazy too.
Like kind of crazy, yeah.
So basically, this whole first issue is them trying to give Tony even more reason to why he becomes so adamant about the Accords, because that comes out of nowhere.
The Registration Act. God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Harper
you did it as
that
well.
too.
Yeah, I did the same
The
thing,
chorus.
man.
Writing my essay, I wrote chords like multiple times. I'm going, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Good movie though. Great movie.
It is a good movie.
Oh,
Nick.
yeah, thank you. Right? I don't get it. I don't get it.
But this whole issue is basically, I think I don't remember what issue it is of the main series. It might be issue 2, where after the meeting with Tony and Emma Frost,
Yes.
Bishop is just like waiting in the bushes and is like, "Can we
Oh,
talk?"
that's
Yeah.
And they never touch on it
yeah.
there.
That's so
But
funny.
this touches on it, and it turns out that Bishop takes Tony to the Days of Future Past future and is like, "Listen, if this registration act does not go well, this will happen.
What?
Wow.
This Nimrods will be created." And
Holy retcon, dude. What? That's great.
And so
Days of
Tony
Future
comes back
Past.
and is like, "Oh my god!" And then he goes to the president and is like, "Are you telling me this whole like Sentinel program and everything? This is in your plans?" And the president goes, "By the way, the president doesn't have a face; it's just a body."
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
George Bush,
yeah,
though.
it's gotta
It is
be
Bush.
Bush. It's,
Would've been
it's
Bush,
yeah,
yeah.
it's definitely Bush. Yeah.
But
Wow.
but the president goes, make sure this act goes through, and then you don't have to worry about it." And it's like,
Wow.
what?
So
Oh,
yeah.
God.
This is why he becomes
Weird.
See,
Weird.
I talked earlier in the episode. I said, like, Tyler and I were talking about how there is an idea here that does work if Tony's like pro registration, but he's more of like the hired gun. He believes in it, but he's not, making a Thor clone, making a fucking negative zone prison. He's not going that hard on it. But this is like this is the Wally West Heroes in Crisis retcon where Goliath, well, not Goliath, who was it?
Bishop.
Bishop's whispered in Tony's ear and been like, "This is gonna happen," and Tony's like, "Guess I have to do Civil War now." That's
Yeah.
insane.
was.
Yeah,
It's
And he's never brought that. Tony Stark's never been like, "Well, actually, I had a discussion with Bishop. It was wild. He took me to the future and everything was ruined." Why did he say that to Cap in Casualties of War? Like,
Yeah.
Cap, I've literally been to the
Well, it's
future,
'cause
man.
Steve
It
doesn't like the
sucks.
mutants. You ever read an X-Men book?
Ah,
Fuck
it's
'em.
sorry. It's
That's what Captain Marvel says. Fuck 'em.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
All right.
So, Connor, what is the context of that panel? Like, this is the one where I thought you were baiting me. Where like it's like Tony's grin, and he's like, "They'll never believe like who was behind it."
okay.
What is that about?
So that is Frontline, which
Hmm.
I actually personally liked, except for the ending of it.
Okay.
Those are new
'Cause-
issues or those are old ones?
These are old ones. It's
Okay.
about
Oh, okay.
Ben Urich and a different
Yes.
reporter. I can't remember her name.
Probably Phil
I don't know if she's
Sheldon, I would assume.
important.
I don't know. I
No,
would
no, no,
guess
it's
that
a
it's that
girl.
character. I don't know.
Bazinga.
Nice.
But it's Ben Urich and this other reporter, and they are just commenting on the war and trying to get interviews with the heroes that are underground. I mean, at one point Ben Urich gets trapped in an alleyway and Green Goblin is just like hovering above him, just like, "I'm gonna kill you." Ah.
Average Ben Urich subplot, dude.
Insane. And then this other girl is trying to locate these underground heroes and does, and then they all get captured. And who's among those heroes? The only one I know is Typeface.
Oh, Typeface.
right.
Bold. He's from the
yeah,
Spider-Verse
yeah.
movie, but he's also
Yeah.
Bold.
By
he's
the
a
way,
Spider-Man
he's-
comic
he-
character.
Yeah, he's fucking dead now.
Oh, good.
He gets
I love
killed during that
Typeface.
last. He gets killed during that last battle.
Damn,
Let's
Paul
go.
Jenkins, Peter Parker Spider-Man. Go read it, guys. Typeface is a great issue with Typeface.
Yeah, I'll get right on that, Tyler.
Yeah, that's
For
my
my
actually I
kids.
spoiled it, but that's my next book club is the Typeface issue.
The typeface issue of Spider-Man. Yeah, that'll win.
Yeah, I hope.
But then the rest of it, I mean, there's like, I couldn't get into, there was like a Wonder Man arc with because what Frontline is it's like an anthology. There's like little snippets of stories here and there. So the main one is the Ben Urich and reporter storyline. And the second one is there's an Atlantean subplot where there's like Atlanteans are just like hidden among us.
Among Us?
Among Us.
What is that? That's the thing that sparks your attention. Among Us.
6-year-old meme.
Yeah, 6-year-old me. 6-year-old you was big into Among Us, dude.
He said meme, not me.
Oh.
6-year-old
yeah,
me.
Cut that, cut
Yeah, I
that,
loved
cut that,
Among
cut
Us.
that, cut that. You need to cut that.
I went to the comic book store and I asked for all the Among Us comics when I was a kid.
All the kids were reading Superman. I was reading Among Us.
I was reading Among Us. God.
But that Atlantean there was an Atlantean subplot, and then so at some point Norman Osborn is released or broken out of prison, and he shoots an Atlantean ambassador at a rally.
Nice.
And he's there and he's freaking out, and he like snaps out, he snaps and he's just there on his knees and he's going, I didn't mean to do that, as if he would care. But
yeah, Norman Osborn.
He's just going, it wasn't me. And so they hand him over to Tony's group to try and figure it out. And it turns out there's like nanites in his blood or something to control him and his actions and stuff. And they're like, so that means there's a traitor among us or something. Among us?
Among Us?
I keep saying it.
Sorry.
I gotta stop.
Hunter's so zoned out, he didn't even catch it. That's
It went over me. Sorry.
You said it that time, and he was just like,
sorry, my inner JD's inside.
He's just been thinking about Among Us.
Yeah, ever since you said it the first time.
He's just thinking about it the whole time.
I'm just thinking about it a lot, yeah.
So many colors.
He's falling asleep. This guy. Let's call him this idiot.
God. Sorry, Connor. Sorry, proceed.
Oh, this is great.
This is what he's like.
Yeah, I watched the show. I know. I'm like apparently the only one that does.
He played me, so it's fine.
That's right. That's right.
I hope you liked it, dude. I just really quick. I want to say I drove around for like an hour and a half trying to find a Zoa around.
An hour and a half. What?
I couldn't find it. There wasn't any at my local gas station.
Whereabouts you are?
I'm in Iowa.
It's a fake state.
Iowa.
But it is.
It's a fake state, he said. Wow.
It is absolutely a fake state. Please help me and get that.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, so like the nearest city from me is like an hour away.
It's crazy.
Oh my! Oh, so you're in like a small town then?
Oh yeah. There's less than.
Yeah.
Dude, my graduating class was 17 people.
Whoa, that is small. That's smaller than mine.
You know.
Yo, they film lanterns in your place, right?
Oh, is that what was going on downtown? No, that. I had
This guy.
Something had to be up.
Wow. Okay. So wait, where do you get your comics?
So in that town, they used to ship them to me, but I go to college over there now, so I make a trip up there every couple weeks.
Oh, okay. So you're able to. Okay.
And, yeah, it's just very far, and then I have a house this next semester, so I can it'll be like 2 blocks away from me. Thank God.
Oh,
easy,
fuck yeah.
easy.
That's so good.
Nice.
Yeah, but why was Tony Stark smiling, Connor?
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Sorry.
I'm losing my mind.
Iowa, whoa.
Whoa.
So, what is that?
Look up where Iowa is.
Look. So they find nanites in his body, and they're like, "There's got to be a traitor among us." God damn it! Every time we say it, there must be a traitor here. And
God damn.
And Tony's like, "Don't worry, we'll figure it out. We got it from here." And the reporters are like, "Okay, sure."
Okay, yeah.
And nothing ever comes of it, really. But they dig deeper, and somehow, I forget how, because I honestly could care less, they find out that Tony Stark this whole time, first of all, broke Green Goblin out of prison, put nanites in his body, killed the Atlantean ambassador to prevent like treaties.
Tony killed?
So that way, Stark Industries could make more money. They find out that he is profiting so much from the Civil War that he's
gone straight back to war profiteering. Oh my God.
Are you serious? Is that seriously what that issue's about?
Yeah, so him smiling is him meeting with Norman Osborn.
Oh my God.
You're joking. That's the most character assassination I've ever heard.
Like I said, I thought the build up to it was actually pretty good, but then the ending was just like, we actually know what you're.
That's terrible.
Oh, that's crazy. You know what's crazy too?
That's straight up villain, dude. Dr. Doom wouldn't do that.
I was gonna say Lex Luthor wouldn't do that.
Yeah, Norman Osborn also snipes what Varanki, right? The Skrull. So if Tony didn't do this, that would not have happened, right? He wouldn't have.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And Tony is also the
wow.
one that made deals with Kingpin, by the way.
Oh my God! Stop it!
To
Stop it!
Who wrote
try
this? Whoever wrote this hates Iron Man.
But this was Christos. No, this wasn't. Those were the new issues.
Front
Yeah,
lines,
who
yeah.
did write this? Front lines.
Insane. Wow.
That's
So-
crazy.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah, and that's what was behind the smile. But I know what. Okay. Did you
I'm
send a
looking
picture
at-
of me to the Discord? Because Brad's been texting me.
Oh, I sent a pic. I sent a picture of you being on here to the
Oh, okay.
to the
Okay.
chat. Yeah. I'm trying to find out who wrote this.
But I thought that series was actually pretty good. Besides that, because it also follows the lead up to, it's a follow up to Speedball,
Yeah.
and where
He
is
becomes Penance, right?
Penance. Yes,
Stupid ass.
and it's
Boo.
Oh my God, he invented
Your
Typeface
goat.
and he killed him.
Your goat.
I love Paul
Your-
Jenkins. Oh no.
Your goat, dude.
and so
Oh,
the lead up to
no.
Penance is
Hate
so sad.
Dude, Penance is
He
such
starts-
a lame ass
dude.
character.
Yeah, but like the lead up is depressing. Like, dude,
Yeah.
Speedball goes to prison, like a regular prison, and he just gets assaulted daily, like genuinely daily.
Oh
And
my God.
then it turns out that like if he's angry enough or he deals with pain, he blows up.
Yeah, it's like his powers don't work
Yeah.
anymore after the Nitro incident.
Yeah, they're really
He has to
screwed.
feel pain for it to happen. So he builds a suit
Yeah.
with a bunch of spikes inside of it, one for every kid that died in Stanford to activate his powers and become Speedball.
It's
They
so
took
sad.
Speedball and they made such a fun character to Penance. This nerd, this evil, edgy nerd. Hated Penance.
Well,
Always
and
hated
then-
Penance.
She-Hulk's his lawyer, and they're going to
Okay.
court, and he gets shot by a random civil, someone that like a father of some kids that died during Stanford.
Mhm.
Oh.
And he gets shot, and he's getting taken to the hospital, and since he feels a whole bunch of pain, he blows up the fucking ambulance.
Oh
with
shit!
all of them in there.
You know.
But on the way to the ambulance, all he's thinking is his memories of his mom and his abusive dad. And he's thinking, God, I wish I could have been more. I'm so sorry. And then he starts talking about how he misses his dog and how he can feel his dog licking his hand as you see like the ghost of the dog licking his hand. And it's like, oh my God, this guy is so sad.
At
But then
what
they made
point
him
did you
funny.
read this? Did you read this towards the like start or the end of your Civil War read through? Because I would have given up, dude. I would have been done.
I think this was closer to the end because I read it all chronologically.
Okay, I
That's
was gonna
how it
say
was.
because fuck that dude. Come on.
It's depressing as hell. And I was like, man, this is good. Like I thought that was a really good storyline.
Mhm. Did you read the like the Fallen Sun stuff, the post Death of Captain America?
You mean the best stuff like ever?
That is good
Let's
stuff.
go.
I do like that stuff.
I
Quite a
dude,
bit.
I started reading that and it was like the gospel.
It was like
like-
David Finch drawing Black Suit Spider-Man. I'm like, oh my God. I'm
I
done.
I was sitting at my computer and I immediately started texting the Discord being like, yo guys, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. You know what's fun about Fallen? But there's the part where like there's Peter Parker's losing his mind. Oh my God, Steve Rogers is dead. And Wolverine comes across him, and Wolverine's like, Steve always believed in you. When we went to go form the New Avengers, Steve really vouched for you, whatever. And Peter's like, why would you lie about that? I was on the New Avengers before you joined, idiot.
Yeah,
And then Wolverine's like, oh, I was trying. I'm just
Wow.
trying something.
He's a fucking idiot, dude. Dumbass.
Dude, Peter just beats up Rhino for they're just in the
At his
cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine. That's
yeah,
fine.
they're at a
I
cemetery.
know, but Rhino's like also mourning. He has his hat. He has his little hat on. He has a giant trench coat. He's giving flowers to whoever it is. And Spidey is just like, and just kicks the shit out of him.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
He must be here.
Oh.
to keep me up or
That's the
whatever.
dialogue, but that's so
Yeah.
funny. Oh my
and
god.
it's
That
gorgeous
stuff.
art too.
all right.
And
Do
then
you feel satisfied that you like did this read through? Are you happy that you did it?
it got me on this, so yeah. But
Hey, that's
Oh.
true. That's true.
Ah,
I
That's
mean,
true.
in minus this whole thing, I actually am because I don't do a lot of like fully reading stuff.
It's a
Mm.
completionist thing, right?
Yeah. And I've been wanting to be more of a completionist when I'm reading stuff. Like I want to go back. I've read Blackest Night, for instance, but I've never
Mhm.
read any of the tie-ins.
There's some good times in that.
75% off if you want to, or 50% off if you want. Sorry, not 75%.
There you go.
Crazy.
Prince of-
Wow.
weeks. Oh god, I might
Terrible
have to-
salesman.
Yeah, Omni was actually. I
Should
think
we see what
$75.
other listeners said, Harper?
Yeah, Connor, are you happy to be here while we read out all the other listener submitted stuff?
Absolutely. So that way
A
I
lot
can
of it
just
is your
update
boys
on
from the Discord, so you can roast them live on the show if you
exactly,
want.
please.
Hey.
Let's hop on over to Grahamtown first. We'll go to Instagram and then we'll jump to the Discord
Grahamtown.
second. Grahamtown, we're jumping to Grahamtown.
Grahamtown.
Oh, fuck, there's a lot of responses here. Okay. Woo-hoo.
Well, they'll be quick, rapid fire.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Hunter, let me just do my
What?
job.
Sorry, what?
First
What?
one coming in from Hunter Murray. Just
Yeah.
good one. Gage Hend says works fine as a standalone story, but not good from a bigger picture of Marvel. Sure,
guess,
I don't
yeah.
know that it necessarily works super well.
I don't
by
think either.
itself
Yeah.
Andre Stacks says we're skinning Mark Millar alive.
Oh,
Maybe not quite that much. It's not
Yeah,
that
maybe too far.
bad. It's not that
I-
bad.
You know what? I agree. Adam Brown says it's bad. Cool.
Yep.
Well said.
Yeah.
Trey Pash says, honestly, it's a pretty good story in a vacuum. Just have to ignore the mischaracterization. Okay. That seems to be a common theme is people liking it in a bottle, but I don't know.
Mhm.
I feel like I'm too biased to even
Well-
approach it just as a story because it's barely a story.
Yeah.
Well, Mark
Just punching,
Millar,
yeah.
I read some for my essay. I read some interviews and stuff, and he said he loves those issues where heroes first meet and they
Yes.
fight for no
Yep.
reason at
I-
all.
Also read that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this is. Is it's just like if you want just cool action, you'll get that, I guess.
Are you gonna post that essay like publicly?
I didn't plan on it. I don't think it's that
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Unless there's
Say,
like
we could
I-
put the link
there.
for like a Google Drive in the description.
I mean, you
but no, it's
could.
fine.
I mean, if you want.
No,
if
no,
you-
it's fine. No, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Oh, you
Don't
don't
worry
want us to
about it.
do it. we'll
Okay,
do
my
it.
bad.
Just say Among Us one more time and you'll win us back. Trey Pash. Oh, here we go. Trey Pash continues. Pretty good moments. The 30 pieces of Silver and Punisher not fighting Cap were cool. The piece of Silver
Judas
thing again
thing,
doesn't
yeah.
really work because it's not Matt
No,
Murdock.
yeah, that's
He's
He's
Danny,
LARPing, man.
yeah.
He's having fun as Matt.
He's
pretending
having
real-
fun
He
laughing.
is,
It's
yeah,
fine.
he is just pulling that, yeah.
But
He probably like
I-
looked up a Bible thing when like, oh, I could do this.
do-
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I could see. Yeah.
You're
But
so
we know that he wants to
excited.
character study. Yeah,
He's probably there. He's
Um,
being taken to the prison. The guard's just like, all right, get in there. He's just like, do you
He's
want
not
to check
itching.
my mouth first?
Yeah. Oh, he's got a
I
hand
know
up.
you searched my pockets, but
teacher, please.
You got a hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, during the tie-ins and stuff, they say that it's Danny, but then during the main event, it's Matt.
It's it's very clearly
supposed
Matt,
to
but
be
also
Danny,
it's
yeah.
it has to be Danny.
it's supposed
yeah.
to be Danny. Yeah.
It has to be Danny, but like they explicitly say it's Matt because when he goes into his secret identity, it says Matt Murdock, aka. It's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Is it
I
prison?
didn't even notice that. Did it really?
yeah, because it's when they're doing their secret identities. now.
They're at the table when
Pretty
they
sure
yeah,
it
he's got the
says Matt
glasses on.
Murdock. I could be wrong
Oh.
about that, but I'm pretty sure it does.
Tyler's pulling it up. Tyler,
I'm looking for. I
Fact
don't remember
check.
when this
He's
happens,
gonna
to be
fact
honest.
check me. And
Fact
it's gonna
check. He's
not
fact check.
be
Was
true.
in the
Fact
main
check.
in the main book.
fact check.
Yeah.
Wow, we've got two people fact checking.
Hold on,
I'm gonna.
hold on, let me
No, it
look.
just says
Oh,
Daredevil.
he's gonna fact check it. He's
It just
Does
says
it just say?
Daredevil.
Does it just say
Oh.
Daredevil? But he looks just like Matt. It's so dumb.
yeah.
I guess he
He's
dyed
dyed
his
his
hair.
hair red.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
so red.
But then in
I
the
agree
dreams,
with
it's blonde still. There's an issue called Choosing Sides, and it's
Yeah.
follows Howard the Duck, Mac Gargan, Iron Fist.
you. I love that Connor just said you could just be completely making that up.
Oh,
and we're like, we have to believe him. Yeah, yeah. Squirrel girls
God,
there.
I wish I was making it up. I really
Wow.
do. I really do.
What is Howard the? What side is Howard the Duck on?
He tries to register, but they're all just like you're a joke.
You're a duck, bro.
You're a
Awesome.
joke.
You're a dog.
Because
You're a
they're like,
fucking
what are
dog,
your
dude.
what? They're like, what's your power set? And he's like, I know quack foo, and they're
Yeah, he
like,
does know quack foo. That's
they're like,
true.
that's
Wow.
made up.
Yeah.
I love
That's
Howard.
made up.
Dude.
Trey Pash continues. Last one. It also doesn't make sense that Reed and Sue would be on opposing sides. I think them being on opposing sides is not the problem as much.
Yeah,
as,
no, it's just
like,
how
Reed is
yeah.
written.
Yeah.
And then things in France.
Anderson Dal says too long for this. Check DMs, mate. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll see. Trevor White says very controversial, but still an okay to mid story. Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Luke says blew my mind as a kid. Blue chunks this time around.
It's true.
That's
good.
brilliant.
That's awesome.
Oh, damn. I got pulled up on this the other day, but let's see. Logan Nago Leosius. Some butt booty character assassination literally right after they slime out Mr. America. Excellent. Billy Rathbone says, dog shit. Excellent. Avery McKinnon says, was a good comic. Really enjoyed it. Enjoyed with someone different.
Oh, all
Okay.
right. Sure.
New opinion. We'll take it.
Good for them. I'm glad they were able to enjoy this.
Oh, and that the aftermath of Cap's death led to some great Bucky Captain America arcs with the Avengers.
It's true. That is true. Bucky became Cap.
Not Gibbs says, reminds me too much of my parents' divorce. Sad face.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah. They haven't. You too, Harper?
Mine were never married to begin with.
You're a bastard.
I am a bastard. I'm Jon Snow.
Sorry.
Oh wait, no, he wasn't.
my-
He wasn't. He was secretly not a real
Yeah.
bastard. Anyway.
Mhm.
Villain Story co-host Brad Gamble says issue
What?
6 was good. Everything else not so much. Also She-Hulk panel, and then the hands up emoji. Fair enough. I feel that. I feel that. Ed said a good litmus test to see whether or not someone actually knows Tony's character. Absolute goat. Thank you, Ed. First Flash fan says the movie was better. I'll jump over. There's a couple messages. There's not that many though.
From the Discord?
Yeah. No, from Insta. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Someone's written, Connor, they might have just stolen your essay and posted it here.
Oh my gosh.
Don't read the whole thing if it's that long. Hey guys, we have a limit. We have a limit.
Okay,
We have a limit.
I'm gonna shorten it out, but okay, look out. That's the person. The better Cap versus Iron Man story as time runs out, where Unk, Steve, and Iron Man duke it out because Hickman is a better writer than Miller. Yeah, they fucking died doing it too. The Russos and Washed Era Bendis. Okay. Oh, they're better writers than the Russos and Washed Era Bendis. Sure. I also wish the stakes were much more personal in the comic. The inciting incident is tragic and horrifying, but it has no connection to Iron Man. And to make him go so hard into the Registration Act, unlike the movie, has Tony's action. Unlike how the movie has Tony's actions that he believed to be helping people, were actually causing people to suffer too. I think that's fair. Like it's Age of Ultron. It's specifically him. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, this shit is getting long, but I have way too much to say about Marvel's highest selling trade of all time. We talked about it, 22 reprints or whatever. But I'll end up by saying this is probably the worst event from the Bendis led era, with Siege being the best. Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Cool.
It's also
I
obviously
could
it's the
agree with
event that this is what gets them high on events. Comic books in general high on events. So
Yeah. Now it's yearly. It's every year.
How long was it since? How long after was it? Was it Secret Invasion? Because that's like the
must have been.
I mean,
like,
this ends in
yeah, like the
2007,
next
and then
year.
Secret Invasion starts in 2007.
It's like the next year.
And then Siege is 2010. Like
the difference with
right?
Civil War and Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion had a build up, like a real build up that was really good. Civil War just happens.
Yeah.
It's got 5 issues of build up.
Yeah, it's got and that one part in Iron Man that I talked about before that doesn't really feed
some
into
of
it.
the 20 years
build
later.
up for Secret, like we talked a lot on this podcast. I don't want to get into it right now, but just the build up.
We
of
have
Secret
talked a lot on this
Invasion
podcast. That's
is
true.
like some of the best stuff ever made.
Marvel, from
Wow, big call.
No, ever made. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When they
You
find
sh-
out Electra's a skull and there's a panel of them all like standing around her body,
He's a
you're like,
skull.
what?
Yeah.
Skull.
It's also like
Find out
obviously
Electro
this-
is a skull.
obviously this
That's what
isn't
he
the
said.
first
Not
event
Electro
of the
is a
era.
skull.
Like this is after House of M,
House
but this
of
is
M,
way
yeah.
bigger than House of M. It's huge. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that, because I don't
It's
know,
big.
getting rid of the
It's
entire
Disassembled.
No, it's
was-
bigger, I mean,
is
like,
kind
in
of an
terms
event.
of-
Oh, as in a
It's
story in the
a
world,
bigger-
like our
yeah.
world, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's way
Oh
bigger.
yeah,
But
everyone
in the
knows what
universe,
this
I agree.
comic
In the
is, yeah.
universe of Marvel, it probably is a bigger deal to like
No,
wipe
yeah.
out all of the mutants.
Yeah,
Anderson's
cares?
continued
Captain
message
America
is
doesn't
honestly not that long. He said it was too long for the things, but it's not that long. Dude, I had never read it before, and I didn't think it could be that bad, but dude, it's so bad. Way too fast-paced until it isn't. Everyone is mischaracterized. You need to read the tie-ins to fully get it, I think, and is what caused Marvel to be bad to this day. That's a big call.
wow.
You're saying like Civil War is the thing that sent them on the, to be fair,
I mean-
it is the thing that made Spider-Man become what Spider-Man has become. And like I said to you guys the other day in the chat, I think if Spider-Man was great and had been great for the last few years, we would not have such a low opinion of Marvel right now. We'd be like, oh yeah, they've got some stinkers, but Marvel's pretty good. The fact that Spider-Man is so bad is that's the linchpin, man. Anyway, Ruined a good thing that Marvel had going in the 2000s, ruined Spider-Man, and is what I feel is
It's
the
true.
reason there are too many events in modern comics.
We
Correct.
love New Avengers, but this happens like New Avengers 19 this starts. Like we only get 19 issues of New Avengers before this fucking shit's all over it.
Fucking Civil War. Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent.
There was a few years ago I was trying to do a Bendis read through, and then I got to Civil War, and I went, and that's when I stopped because I didn't want to read it.
It was a chore
Wow,
to
it just
pick
gave
this
up.
book off the shelf for me. Like,
Yeah.
I read this
I
all on Marvel Unlimited, and then for some reason I was at Barnes and Noble, and I had a gift card, and I was like,
No way.
there it is. There it is. It's like glowing.
It will represent a special time. You'll look at the
Let's,
shelf and you'll be like, "Oh, I got to tell Harper that his goat was the most washed he's ever been
Yeah.
in comics."
I'll be like,
Let's,
man, I gotta be on my
let's-
favorite thing ever.
that's that too.
Let's go to the Discord now. Let's see. We got a lot
Wait, no,
of
there's
responses here.
one more. There's one more on
Okay.
Grahamtown. Let's
All
not
right,
give up
one
on
more.
Grahamtown. Hey, just because we got the Discord does not mean we give up on Grahamtown.
We're low on time.
All right, last one from Grahamtown. Robbie A says this is the most 2000s event ever. I don't know why, but it just has that vibe. It reminds me of
It
Identity
totally does,
Crisis.
yeah.
In a few
Yeah, I
ways,
mentioned
the whole
Identity
superhero
Crisis
community
before.
at
Yeah.
odds with each other. I think that's fair. The cynical kind of nature of it that we were talking about before, Tyler, is definitely that feels very similar.
And Hunter.
So from the
Whoever you are.
from
Discord.
the Discord, CJ, another great Alex Garland flick.
My
Kaylee
boy.
Spanier is great in this one. It's good. It's true. It's a good
Great
movie.
one.
I
It's a
actually
great
think I
one.
didn't like it the first time I saw it in theaters, but now I'm like, oh, this actually is a good movie. Kev Doc, Potential Man. This is a story where I was really liking it until all of a sudden Mark Millar barges into my room, spits in my eye, puts a cigarette on my tongue, and says, "Shut up, liberal."
That happened?
That
Apparently,
did happen.
according to
Yeah,
him.
that's crazy.
I can't confirm. I was on
says,
call with him when it happened.
He likes the ideas of pitting the two sides, one being the nostalgic heroes on Cap, something wanting to go back to
Mm.
punching bad guys and supervillains, yada yada. Sorry, we will speed through some of these, unfortunately. Despite all that, I still do prefer this over the movie, even
What
if
are
it
you
completely
on
fell
about
flat
that?
by the end. Nope, all right, we're stopping reading that.
Yeah,
White
we're done.
Skull, or no,
Kick him
Andrew
from the
needs
Discord.
more Black Panther. I don't know what to say other than this felt like a comic story and video synopsis of an actual Civil War comic. Yeah,
Mm.
this dialogue was hollow and the story felt shallow. Very disappointing book that had so much potential and concept. Also, the movie's better. We're in a Civil War, but
There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay,
because we
balance.
get Chadwick Boseman doing cool shit and aura forming the whole time. It's true.
They're
Get
living and not
Snart.
done with
Get
you
Snart
yet.
wrote quite a bit. Sorry, we're not going to read it all.
No. Hey,
Goliath
hang
should
on.
be
What
brought
are you doing?
back.
You skipped over White Skull.
Did I skip over White Skull?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. He says I didn't read it. I've only read this one that was 10 years ago.
He did
but
say
I've
that.
read several of the tie-ins over the years. Tie-ins are pretty good.
I didn't even clock that was the title.
I didn't read it.
Get
Oh, he
Snart.
pulled it was Harper during the God Bomb.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
White Skull's going to destroy book club.
White
Yeah.
Skull's given us a review, and it's just I have not read the book.
Get Snart says Goliath should be brought back. 20 years, pretty much every white character has been killed off and come back, but a black character who got a movie appearance can be brought back in a 5-issue
That's
animated.
legit.
I also
True.
It's
think
fair.
the fact that he's been dead for so long can make for a more interesting story of him coming back if he just came back like 3 years after Civil War ended.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
now
like it's you guys literally forgot about me. I died as part of your fucking like petty
Yeah.
squabble, and
He
you
even
just
forgot my
didn't-
name. I mean, this
didn't
guy on
look
this podcast earlier called me Black
He's-
Goliath for some reason.
Hunter
He's,
called him Black Goliath.
Yeah, I did. Oh. I thought that was
That's-
his,
see, it's-
I seriously thought that was his
I
name.
think that they
It
did.
is
His
stuff-
name used to be that. He mentioned
I think he
it.
might have used to have been Black Goliath. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I actually
bullet
that
dodge,
wasn't me
Hunter,
make-
bullet dodge.
Well, that was me
He's an
making
old
like, I
school
was
fan
serious.
of
I'm
Goliath.
like,
When I was a
Hey,
kid getting my
I-
Among Us
yeah.
comics, I was also getting my Black Goliath.
I was reading Black Goliath comics.
But
Yeah, you could have like a whole like Wally West Rebirth storyline, but maybe make him a bad guy.
I guess. Tomato
Well,
Tommaso.
make him
It
him
could have been
vitriolic
worse.
and angry for sure. Yeah,
Civil
No, I
War is
agree.
a very-
He doesn't know that Thor was a clone. So
That's
he
true.
tries to
Yeah,
kill
he's gonna be
Thor.
mad
Guys,
at Thor
guys.
still.
Oh, that's true.
First issue of Unmasked comes out, and it's about Goliath. So who knows?
Oh,
That's
you
true.
did say that.
He
yeah,
could be alive
no
all the
way.
time. I bet maybe they'll retcon that.
There was a
It could have been
it was
worse.
a Goliath clone that died.
Yeah, Tomato Tommaso. Civil War is a very flimsy political discussion on freedom versus national security during the War on Terror and a the War on Terror public sentiment. I like it as a massive shakeup of the Marvel Universe with semi-lasting consequences. The art of the main event is so good. The big action and scale, the action and the big scale nature can
The Big Apple.
overtake any flows. Could have been worse. Could have been Civil War 2. It's true. I don't know how they got worse than this, but Connor, you got your essay here.
They kinda
TJ
did.
Swan, the definition of hype moments and aura. Reread all the build up. The main writing in this book is definitely off at times, especially with Cap and Tony. But I do think the overall
Uh-huh.
event is a solid 7 out of 10. The art is fucking insane from McNiven, and while the book relies heavily on hype moments and action, I'm not going to pretend like they still aren't cool. It's true.
I wouldn't call the art insane. I think in some parts it's like perfect, and in others it's really off-putting.
No,
Like we mentioned,
I
this
think
was
it's
the
good.
first thing we discussed on this episode.
I
Like,
think I
sometimes the art
just
is
think
really
it's
weird.
the coloring, man. I really just think the coloring
is,
does
it
it
is.
such a disservice. It makes it look weird,
Like,
hyper realistic. Just
People
off. I just don't know.
people get tattoos of like panels of Spider-Man. Would you ever get this panel as a tattoo?
No, I wouldn't probably get that one.
Look at the Spider-Man tattoo.
That is pretty good. That's
Just,
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Sean-
Mark Wade would love that.
Sean, the
Yeah,
Gribbs,
Sean
Red
Sean
Hood here.
McGribbin. Yeah.
While I've been
Mick
dragging my
Gribb.
feet on my Avengers Road to Secret Wars binge, Civil War is a big part of why you hit the Civil War time period. Every book feels so much worse than it was before. Only good issues
All right,
I
that's good.
somewhat
That's-
enjoyed
we
were
can move on.
Bendis' new Avengers characters. Just for Eddie.
Sorry.
Such an
Another very long
asshole.
one. We're doing a disjointed event when
I'm
one
sorry.
more day, yada yada. Sorry, guys. The only silver lining of reading it is the tie-ins that showed Bendis or JMS should have wrote this event, and it could have been a little bit better. It's true. Weapon X, slop, and more slop.
More
I guess you
slop.
could talk about how there's an interesting idea, but shit that I mean, here shit had inspired a goated MCU movie, but this shit blows. Hi, I'm Tom. Well, that just happened. I forgot how thin of an actual event this is. Barely any ideological
Yeah.
discussion happens. and
Yeah,
the whole
like,
story is heavily reliant on other tie-ins to be
it's
a cohesive
very
narrative.
thin.
Otto.
But it's like also it's
Oh, I
literally
thought that,
barely
You
like,
don't
the-
love autos.
I
I
love
didn't
Otto's
realize
right
how
now.
short this was.
I'm gonna read Otto's whole review. Just gonna start off with the book.
This one made me
Just gonna
smile.
start off with the book saying it impressed me. The art and stories with these characters are genuinely so good to read and look at. I wasn't expecting much with you know whose name attached to the book,
Munch.
but they did a really good job of showing the relationship between the team's roster. Overall, I highly recommend reading The Authority. Really good and interesting characters. Jack Hawksmoor and Jack Hawksmoor, the man can talk to cities dead. That's one of the best fictional characters. Of all
I
time.
love that he did that.
Otto
Can I
read The
read
Authority.
Nick's? Can I read
Yeah.
Nick's?
Oh no.
So
no.
Nick
How long
writes
is this?
in. No, just hear me out.
Okay,
So Nick
yes.
says people say this event was character assassination of Tony Stark, and I completely agree. I think Tony Stark was the character that Miller put the least effort into and
Yeah.
made sure throughout this whole
exactly what
event,
it says.
whenever possible, that he was just a terribly written character. Anyway, overall, I think it's a terrible book, but the movie is much better. Love it. 10 out of 10, I think he said.
All right,
5 stars. 5 stars for the movie.
there we
Thank
go.
you, Nick.
Connor, real quick, better or worse than Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
That's right.
All right, so I've seen the first 10 minutes of that movie, but
Oh, okay.
obviously it's like it's not even
The beginning of the
comparable.
movie is what?
No,
Caesar's
because that's the
funeral?
best
Dude,
movie.
that first 10 minutes, like not even the
Caesar's
first 10 minutes.
funeral, right?
Literally, you load up, like it's just a black screen and it's already better.
Yes.
Yeah. To be fair,
Black
when it showed Caesar's funeral, I was kind of in disbelief that there was any connection to the previous movie. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's the
Oh,
book.
That's a good
yeah.
scene. That's a great
So I think, Connor, I would love to have you longer, but I want you to have to wait till tomorrow to see what our book club is. So
Yeah,
what the
I'm
books
For
are.
the
ready.
next one,
Oh,
yeah.
no
I also
way,
was
you
gonna
went
say
to-
I don't want him to know.
Wow,
Yes.
that's
Very excited.
brutal.
So we'd
That's
love to have you
scene.
here.
My book choice is Trouble. Thank you.
We're not reading Trouble.
Yeah.
Don't
No.
switch
Yeah,
the
no,
whole thing.
not at me.
Please.
Yes.
So thank
Connor
you for
gets
joining
a
us.
Connor gets
Yes,
a
thank you for
3-minute
joining
cameo
us.
to talk about Civil War Unmasked issue 3. Goliath is brought back to life.
I will read. Now I'm already in. I will read every
We-
issue that comes out of this.
We know if you've
Please,
done
update
50
us.
now, I don't think one is going to be the thing that
Yeah,
breaks it.
Honestly,
I'll give up
if-
now.
I'll say if my book club wins, you can be back next month.
Oh, what is that?
Here we
What
go.
is
Mean?
that?
What
If
does that
my book
mean?
club wins, Connor can be back next month.
All right. I guess.
So don't vote,
Yeah.
Tyler.
I know Tyler's opinion now.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, wow.
All right, thank you. We'll do our
That's
votes.
crazy.
Yes,
He has
our
to wait.
reveals.
He was on the show and he has to wait. That's
He has
so
to wait.
funny.
Hey, I'd
Yes.
rather have it that way.
We'll see you.
My
Oh,
book
okay.
club is going to be kick him.
Yeah.
Kick him.
Yeah.
My book club is going to be
Oh my god! They made me do a
Hey,
report on
hey,
him.
that was
I'm
fun.
not
That
gonna.
was fun.
It's
Dude,
don't report.
I
He
think
will-
I do.
he will hear this after the fact, but he was phenomenal. I'm so
great.
glad we had him on.
That
That
was
was good.
great,
Thank you,
yeah.
Connor, for
It was-
coming on.
It was just good
Yes.
to like. His charisma's really good. He works well with us, but even just hearing what he learned about Tony Stark.
Yeah,
It's like
dude,
crazy.
legit. Yeah, he
Oh my
genuinely
God.
added so much
That's
to that,
insane,
probably to
yeah.
the
conversation,
detriment
yeah.
of my mental health.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I think Harper, I think you should reveal your book club for end of
You
July
keep talking
1st
us.
because
You keep telling us
you.
that it's gonna break book club.
No,
And
mine
you
will be
won.
last. Mine's last.
Okay,
Sorry.
I'm okay with that. Tyler, you
All
want to
right.
go or me?
Hunter, you go first.
Okay. I think this is our last book club before we do themed book clubs, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So after the end of July for our August book club, we're gonna pick like this is event month or this is like street level month or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, right. Okay.
But yeah, I hate that we did One More Day, which is tied to Civil War, and then we did
Oh.
Civil War right after. Two
We're gonna do
bad books.
brand new day.
But I liked
No,
the idea of talking
bro, what are you
about
talking
an
about? We
event.
literally did Hawks and
We
Pox.
just Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh.
So
Bro,
my
I
book club
forgot.
is actually House of X Powers 10.
So my advice could be no. I like the idea that we did. I do like that we did X-Men. That was a fun event to talk about. I like that we
Yeah.
did Civil War, even though it sucked. It was fun to talk about as an event. So I'm gonna do a good event. Blackest Night.
Blackest Night.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
So that's
Good
why it's
pick.
interesting
I've
that
reread
Connor
Blackest Night
mentioned that he
within
wants.
the
He
last
did
year.
mention Blackest. Oh,
True.
you're right. Literally, he
I
will
actually,
read
I think
all
I've
of that.
reread it within the last year, so I will
Yeah.
read it
So
again. But
I have probably
I
not
didn't
read
love
it
it.
since like
Lantern Flash?
I didn't love it
2018,
last
but that's
time.
exciting.
I didn't love it last time I
Oh,
read it. So
Interesting.
I haven't
We'll
read
see.
this in a long time, so I love to I'd love to talk about Blackest Night though. It's a thicker trade, but it's not as thick as
yeah, it's like 8 issues
thinner.
or something. It's good. It is good.
Yeah, something like this.
Yeah,
I
it's alright.
I think
We'll
this
get to
was
it.
this is like a legitimate good DC event here, so I love to
Yeah,
talk
I
about
would say
Blackest
it's
Night.
definitely what people would consider the peak of it. I prefer Infinite Crisis to be honest, but if that wins,
Interesting.
fuck, I already own the train. Might have to buy the omnibus. No, I'm not gonna do that.
You don't need to buy.
No,
Just
you
you don't
will,
have to
you
buy
will.
things. It's okay.
Blackest
become
Night
me.
for the first
I
vote.
do.
Blackest Night.
Blackest Night.
Okay,
Tyler.
Tyler, you're next.
My book club is so there's a movie coming out this month. It's called Minions. I'm kidding. It's called Spider-Man: Brand New Day. And I'm
he's gonna
thinking,
make
okay,
us
well,
read
we're gonna.
Brand New
I picked a
Day.
bad
Let's
Spider-Man
do
book.
One More Day again.
Let's do a good Spider-Man book. Oh, wait a minute. The Spider-Man book I want to pick, people don't consider it to be good. I want to read Maximum Carnage. I want to go to the 90s and I want to read
Whoa.
Maximum Carnage because I want us to just jump in on the deep end of 90s Spider-Man and just get in all
Wow.
that nonsense.
I'm
It is
down for that.
That's
I'm on board
fun.
with
That's
that.
13
fun.
issue event. Way
Okay.
too long. But I
Yeah.
think it would be fun to talk about just to see what was going on in the 90s at Spider-Man.
God, that is not in print, is it?
It's not out of, I think it is out of print, but the trades are cheap. It might be an Epic collection. I've looked into it. So
Okay.
Maximum.
That's way better than Authority. Not gonna like I'd rather
Yeah,
read
that's
that.
true. These
What
are
the
all
fuck
good.
is
But
wrong
I
with the Authority. I don't know
I
what's your issue
truly
with the
think-
Authority.
I
Authority's
truly.
awesome.
Hey man, to be fair, I was thinking of the wrong Authority.
Yes, you were.
In my defense.
No, it's good. It's awesome.
Okay, Harper.
Okay, so I
Break
think
it.
you guys are old fucking mules, right? I think you're old. I think you're stuck in the past. We have been doing this comic book podcast for so long, and then we've recently discussed that we need to branch out more. We're going to talk about the Odyssey. We're going to talk about probably Evil Dead Burn next week. We're going to branch out. And the thing about book club is that like realistically, it's just a monthly installment of fucking anything, right? It doesn't have to
No.
be these old
It's-
silly
Oh,
pages.
it's good to
Usually
like a
So for
novel.
my
Comic book.
pick for book club is going to be X-Men 97. That's my pick for book club is
What?
X-Men 97, the TV show.
The TV
We're
show.
already
So you
watching
just
it.
want you want to win, so you get you have to watch 97 then.
Correct. We are going to do X-Men 97 for book club.
So I want to tell you
And
this.
it will
2 years ago,
win.
we watched X-Men 97. And we did a
Yeah, and
review.
you get to rewatch it and season 2 is
I
currently
have.
coming out
Dude,
as
I've
we
watched
go.
it like 3 times.
So-
I've watched.
I think I've watched
97.
it 3 times exactly.
And we
yeah.
get to watch it again.
Harper.
Brother.
No.
I just want Yep.
I'm
No.
saying it's book club, not TV show that everyone's seen club.
Hey, it was called The Book of Boba Fett. and that
You're
was a
late
TV
on
show.
this. You don't get to pick it because you're late.
No, I think it'll be fun.
Oh yeah,
also,
okay,
it's
you're
funny.
right. So we could pick the Book of Boba Fett then,
It's funny. It's funny.
or the Book of
we can-
Carol.
why
It's
couldn't
funny. It's funny.
We can pick
All
it.
right.
Thank you.
I guess
Book of
X-Men
Carol, yeah.
97, the TV show that Hunter and I've
It's
seen and already
funny.
done an episode about. We
It's
can pick that,
funny.
but it will not win.
We did a
You are
whole 2-hour review
reckon?
on the show.
You want to know why that won't win? Because I'm telling you this regardless, audience.
Everyone's
We will
seen
talk
it.
about X-Men 97 season 2 anyway. and season 1 probably.
Yeah.
won't
Oh
do the
well,
review.
we'll talk about season 2, but we haven't really talked about season 1. That
Oh
much.
my god.
So,
So the thing is,
like,
here's the thing. If you vote Harper's, that means no book club.
Yes, that means
Correct,
that most
yeah,
of the
correct.
people watching this will go, I watched that already. All right, whatever.
To be fair, it
Don't
seems
win.
most people that engage in book club do not actually read the book. They just go, "Yeah, I read that at some point." That's it.
You know what? You can pick this. I'm against it from the jump.
I'm against it.
I've been so excited to just ruin the whole concept for like a week.
You're a son of a bitch.
Blackest
Maximum
Night.
Carnage or Blackest Night. Oh no,
I was
Blackest
ex-
Night's gonna beat Maximum Carnage.
My
Guys,
entire
there's just-
expectation was Tyler to look at the camera and just do the fucking Jim from The Office face that you always do.
Guys,
We've been
I'm
in
begging you.
Marvel land for like
There's a
4
Spider-Man
months.
movie
We
coming
gotta get
out.
to DC.
There's a
It's
Spider-Man movie
X-Men too.
coming
I
out.
don't know why you guys don't like X-Men. It's really weird, actually. Oh, there you go.
You call
I guess
that
I'm
thing
the
a
bigger
mutant?
X-Men. I guess I'm the bigger.
Yo, you
X-Men
call that
fan.
thing a human? Is what
You
he
call
says.
that? Oh yeah, you call that thing a human? Yeah.
Yuck.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Is
leave.
there anything else to talk about though? I feel like we're out of steam. I got nothing else to be honest.
As in not book like book club
book
related
club.
things.
I mean,
I think the Daredevil
it's the
suit looks cool,
costumes.
man. I
yeah,
don't know
it
what to
looks
tell you.
better in those pictures, but still.
Comics were
Thanks.
pretty cool, but yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
All right.
I gotta. I'm gonna
We
go.
can end it here though. I think we're out of steam.
Was there
That
any
was-
news?
That was a big one. I don't think there was any news.
That
Was
was a
there?
big one.
Minions
there
and
was
Monsters
an,
apparently better than Supergirl. So
Supergirl
not
was doing
surprising.
bad, but yeah.
Doing really bad.
Dude,
It's
we
doing-
did
yeah,
the
man,
podcast.
It's over.
We did the podcast like 3 days ago. There's nothing new that's happened.
Oh, we
That's
did
true.
do
We
the
did
podcast
just do
3
the
days
pod-
ago.
Oh, we should say next week we are actually branching out. We're gonna be reviewing Evil Dead Burns, but we're gonna be probably releasing it like 3 days late than usual.
Yes. Also, the
Jesus,
podcast
is it-
for next month. Oh man. Okay. August, like July 31st is a Friday, but that's the day that Brand New Day comes out. So that won't be the book club. So the book club will be the next week after, I guess, August 7th.
Oh, true. True.
Yeah, because we can't. Yeah.
Which gives you plenty of time. It's only 10
Yes.
episodes, and then you can catch up on season 2 as well.
All right. We'll
so
see you guys
a little
next
bit
week.
longer, but yeah,
But,
next week a
um,
little bit
Spider-Man-
delayed.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. No, Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. Maximum Carnage, please.
Maximum
Done.
Carnage,
Done.
Maximum Carnage, Blackest Night, and the winner. Excellent. Let's go. See you
Okay,
next
okay.
week.
End it.